151, right? Yeah.
No, that's
No
backwards.
interruptions.
That's backwards. It's 151.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking. We went right into it here, man. Lots and lots to talk about today. Not even talking about the movies, just in general. You know, I got a steaming hot coffee here, and I hope I'm not slurping. You cocksucker. So this thing comes up,
What
right?
happened?
Who's a cocksucker?
Well, no, it's an app thing. This app thing hops up on my phone, right? And it said on my screen, right? You guys thought I was pressing the record button. In fact, I was trying to dismiss. It said there's updates available in the App Store for Apple. So I'm clicking on it, and I'm trying to say remind me tonight, but instead everything just froze. You guys froze, I froze, but I could still hear you. Then it finished, and then everything was cool again. But now I got that thing on the bottom of my screen bouncing up and down. This app thing wants to fucking install apps. Yeah,
Usually you finish after you bounce up and down on someone. Not before.
See, what do I do? What do I do? Is it just gonna bounce the whole show? This little fucking app thing, or do they eventually get the hint and say he's not gonna press the button and let this happen?
I don't even know what you're talking. Is it a Mac thing?
I don't.
Yeah,
even
it's a Mac
know
thing.
You guys
It's
need
a
to
Mac
switch to
thing. That's
PCs.
why-
You guys need to switch
Just
to
say
PCs.
remind me tomorrow or something like that.
It's too late. Actually, it stopped. It stopped bouncing. It gave up.
All right.
Okay. You never seen that thing bounce? You know what it's like? Remember those things when we were kids? Follow the bouncing ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was. But of course, it doesn't bounce all over the screen. It just stays in one spot and it goes up like this, boom, 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 like a rubber ball bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
You know, and it gave up. So
I think
we're okay.
the reason it gave up, or the reason it took so long, is because you had other applications running like Skype and everything else. That's the problem. That's the reason why it was dragging its feet, if you will,
It took a hint.
by bouncing up and down.
Yeah, but it took a hint eventually.
Look at
It was,
Brandon.
well, he's not gonna press the button. I'm gonna chill the fuck out.
I'm
and
about to
that's
press the eject button. Get the fuck out of here.
already 2 minutes in. We got lots to talk
fucking
about.
Mac tech talk here.
Wow.
I was in fucking Jersey. I was 45 minutes away from this brick.
45 a minute?
Fit
45
45 a minute. I was
This
a
is a
45
party.
minutes. I wanted to get a pizza with a bread because I was a 45 a minutes.
I was walking around Jersey Shore with no shirt on.
I wanted
don't know
to
why.
see you. I wanted to see you, but the way you worded it, I really would have come to see you. But you were like, I'm coming in on Thursday night. Gonna be so busy, gonna go to sleep. Friday, I'm not around all day. We're heading out early the next morning. You want to come see me? When? In your dreams?
Yeah. I honestly, I know we mentioned this last show, and you're absolutely correct. The only real time frame, because I knew this was going to happen. I was going to be tired from driving in. And then we're on, like, they want us to go to this dinner and that. And I feel bad because, like, it's kind of like my even though my other daughter was there with her, my wife kind of wants everybody to be there too. So then that screws up time, because I could have like, look, I'm going to skip out on dinner and then zoomed out or whatever. And that would have been the only opportunity on the Tuesday night. I think, because Wednesday was a gong, like it was a write off. And then we did wake up and leave. We just woke up and left later than I thought we were going to on Thursday.
Yeah,
which is why we got to Dave's.
Yeah,
so
plenty
late.
of time to hang out at the Z residence, you fucking skunk.
Yeah.
It was what, 30, 45 minutes tops?
There were a lot of photo opportunities there.
We were bouncing, man. We were enjoying ourselves.
Fucking dogs eating VHSs. A lot of craziness going on in this picture.
Dave is exactly how he says he is. He's exactly the same in person. He said I was less arrogant, which is kind of funny. I didn't think I was that much of a. I mean, I know I'm an asshole sometimes, but
no, you're not. I'm teasing.
But like, he's exactly how he says he is. He walked in. He's like, "Come on in. You can sleep over. Don't take your shoes off. Nothing." I'm like, I was like feeling like no. Then Irene was trying to sleep because she was waking up early. I didn't even want to be in the house. I thought she was gonna be cursing her names after because I'm loud. I don't want to be keeping her up.
Did you call her Wrench while you were there?
Yeah, I go, Wrench, where's the barbecue? We drove all this way, no ribs, nothing.
Yeah, that's tomorrow for the birthday. She did leave a message, though. I forgot that because she only is on Instagram now, right? And, what the heck? She posted something. It was during one of the pictures that we took. Like, I posted the pictures of us on Instagram. And in there was a couple things said. And Mood said so. See, I haven't looked because I'm, I haven't. I just knew that Irene commented, but she said, "Happy birthday, Christian. Please thank your wife for the copy of her book. I can't wait to read it." So she said it on Instagram. She assumes that everyone's on Instagram, but they're not. But I wanted to let you know that she said that here and now. So yeah.
Oh, my wife is on it. I'm on Instagram. I just never really use it that much. I go in and I do a couple things and then I'm out for another week. But my wife is always on Instagram. She doesn't like my wife would prefer not to be on Facebook. She wasn't, and then she felt like she needed to for the social aspect of the book stuff. But she prefers Instagram 100%.
That's my wife. Same deal. It's Instagram only, and I love Twitter. And here's the funny thing: people think that Twitter is the worst place to be, where I consider it the best place to be, and it's because of the simple thing. And I'm sure I brought it up on the show before, and I know I posted about it online. You can have words blocked, so you'll never see them on Twitter. So if you don't want to hear about certain, imagine if you could do that. I have like 30 words that if they come up on Twitter,
trailer. What else?
Big black cock.
Big black cock. Small black cock.
Well,
medium black cock.
What's a small black cock? Is basically just a giant white cock.
Well,
I figure again. I think we've probably talked about this on the show. The only people in the world that would take offense to like big black cock and saying, it's a stereotype or anything, is black men with small black cocks.
Jesus, I feel horrible for black men with average to below average penises. Like that is just like, come on.
Yeah, but it's worth it. Yeah, but it's worth it because it gets them in the door at least. Like the percentages, you know what I'm saying? Not many females are gonna up and run once you're that far into it. Yes, it does happen. Yes, they are that way sometimes. But
up and run, that happens.
You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna up and run if you're already in the position where you guys are going at it and this and that. And you're laying down or doing whatever you're doing. You're taking your clothes off, about to get busy, and she's expecting him to be well endowed, right? But if he's not, it doesn't matter. By the time you get there, not many women are going to stop and look and say, ooh, and get up out of the room. And it does happen, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Balls a little bit more? What's going on here?
And the motion of the ocean does amount to something. Women will tell you that. So there a lot of times, what I'm saying
a double whammy for me.
No size and no motion.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I would rather be a black man with a smaller dick than me being the way I am now, being only 5'8" and well endowed. But I'm not an advertisement for a guy.
1 year from now, this is a Ram quote. 1 year from now, Ram quote. I would rather be a black man with a small cock, Dave Z. and we're not going to understand it, but this is the moment where it was said.
I'm just saying it opens doors. It opens doors to people that believe that. Then there's some women.
I strongly believe they would argue against that for you about everything that they've had to endure all this time. Maybe a little bit more so today, but flashback like 3, 5, 10 years ago, they probably argue against that.
Maybe
You're thinking.
I'm a simple guy. I'm not thinking about socio-political things. I'm thinking about basic shit like getting laid. You know what I mean? I don't think about, to me, success it's different for everybody. I don't care what the world thinks of me as long as I enjoy my life. And part of enjoying my life is banging a lot of women. Not now I'm married, but I mean, I would rather be a poor guy that slept with 5,000 hot women than me. And I've had my...
I'd rather be a poor guy that banged 5,000 women than me. That's another quote. That's another Ram quote. Ram.
And I've done well.
What the hell did I start here? This is gold, but I don't understand it.
How do you not understand that? Everybody weighs success differently. Because I'm an addict, I guess you could say that I am. I view having sex with multiple women as accomplishments. It makes me feel every time when I was single and I hooked up with another girl, I felt great about myself. I love it. You know what I mean? Who doesn't love? I shouldn't say who doesn't love. A lot of people love spreading their love, having lots of sex with lots of attractive people. I happen to be one of them. So to me, that was the only reason I ever have money growing up. I'm like, I want to have money someday so I can have a bunch of hot chicks. It isn't like I want money just to have money. I mean, how much money do you need? I'm happy with what I have right now. You know what I mean?
I need more than what I've got right now. That's all I know.
I need more. Yeah.
I will take all of it.
I need more. Yes, we all do. Don't get me wrong, but if someone said, Dave, you could go back in time and be single for the last whatever and start a whole different lifestyle, and you are going to have sex with, you're going to have the power to bed any woman you want for your entire life.
When you say power, do you mean the physical strength to hold them down, or?
No, just the ability. Maybe it's
okay.
hypnotism. Maybe it's just natural charm. Whatever it is, you are going to be able to approach any female at any given time, anywhere. And if you so choose, you are going to be able to have sex with her, and she's going to enjoy it too. She's willing. It's not like they're just there. So she's gonna enjoy. She's gonna want to do it with you as much as you are with her. So you can have that ability, or you can have $1 billion. I would go back to being 18 years old and say, I just want the sex. But that's me.
Oh my God, you're crazy. I take the $1 billion, and then what becomes of it becomes of it.
I know, you're right. Okay, $1 billion's a little different because then you can bang lots of women. I get that. Okay, not $1 billion. How about, I don't know, 5 million? Now you're stretching out 5 million.
I'll take 5 million.
Now,
Yeah, I'm taking the 5 million. I like masturbating, so I'm fine.
Exactly.
Well, I don't love it. It's maintenance.
I've never heard a complaint from myself after masturbating.
Yeah. No, I have disappointed myself.
I have.
Like, oh, yeah.
I have.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you used to love this stuff. What's the matter with you? What's that?
Yeah.
Look at that. Come on. You need more? Anyway. Okay, it's hard to say. I have to really break it down. This is just off, this is off the cuff. I'm just saying that it's closer for someone like me than you would think. Like I can't help it. Same thing with being high. I just wish I could be high. The feeling of being high on weed endlessly for the entirety of my life. I would be the best Dave Z I could be. You know what I mean? If you think I'm friendly now, it's not even. Have you ever seen? Oh, thank you. I just remember. See, a couple times recently, I brought up the Boondocks, and I think because I listened back yesterday to something, a little bit of last show, and I think you think I'm talking about the Boondock Saints.
Yes,
right?
That's not what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the Boondocks. It's a cartoon. It started out as a comic strip, and
okay, no,
Have you never seen this?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, you must. Okay, well. There you have. Well, there's an episode of the Boondocks, and it's a cartoon show, and it's about this grandfather who gets his 2 young grandsons, 10 and 8 years old, and it's what do you call it? It's an African American family, and they all have different things. Huey's like my hero. He's this little 10-year-old boy, but he's very militant. His name alone, Huey, is like after Huey P. Newton from the Black Panthers. So he's all he believes in the type of stuff I believe in, right? And so Grandpa's just old crotchety grandpa and stuff, And then there's a little kid, Riley, who's this little 8-year-old wannabe thug, and he's all into fashion and all that stuff. And it's a really great cartoon. It's a lot of they're making a lot of statements as they're entertaining you. So it's really cool. But anyway, there's this episode of Boondocks where Grandpa finally. Somehow someone tells him that marijuana is legal and that he's so high strung he should start smoking weed. So they lied to him. It wasn't legal in California yet, but they said Obama made it legal or something else. So anyway, he starts smoking weed and not telling his grandkids about it. And they're expecting him to be spanking them and doing this and that when they get out of line. And his demeanor is completely different. He's like vacuuming the floor and they're coming over to Grandpa, this and this. And he's like, oh, hey, boys. Oh, that's okay. You guys go along and have fun. Like his whole demeanor changes. They're like, what's wrong with Grandpa? This and that. Why isn't he yelling and threatening to beat us with a switch and all? You know what I mean? But that's how it is. You don't know what a switch is?
Nintendo Switch?
Yeah. You know what a switch is?
Now you're playing with power.
A switch is like a branch that you break off of a tree and you hit your kids with. That's old school stuff. It's really southern and stuff. But anyway, my wife got the switch actually by her parents. The switch. I got hit with anything in sight. There was no twigs.
You got the wrench.
They should have got me with a wrench. I probably would have behaved better.
Dave's but anyway, old, he got the PS1.
Nothing bothers me when I'm buzzed. That's
Fucking
all I
laugh.
can say. Nothing bothers me when I have a weed buzz on at all. I'm as cool as a damn cucumber. So, but anyway, I didn't mean to go. I didn't even know how we got on that
Why
shit.
does
But
they say that? Because if you don't put a cucumber in the fridge, it's really not cool. It's just room temperature.
maybe it holds
Yeah, but when
than
you
other
cut
things.
it and then if you put it to your eyes like I do, it's cool.
Do you
I've
really?
never put cucumber on my eyes ever, but I've seen people do it in the movies.
I've done it, but it burns because I put the dressing on before I put them on my eyes. It's like
Damn
fucking
this
ranch, yeah, ranch.
Unreal.
Unreal is right. There is a controversy. Everybody. I think there's like maybe 2 comments mentioning that they thought I would tower over you, Dave. I don't know where they got. I mean, I've said that
I'm
I was
short.
5'9", and maybe change, and you said you're 5'7".
I'm
But
fat.
in the pictures we're almost the same. Yeah, you're almost 5'8". Okay, so I re-measured myself because I'm like, I gotta re-measure because I honestly haven't since I was a kid. And the last time I think was like in the doctor's office, and I'm pretty sure he said I was 5'9", and I was even 18 at that point. So I figured,
Wow.
maybe I grew a little bit. So I measured myself on 5'8.5".
Ooh.
So that's the reason why.
With
So,
shoes or without shoes?
Without shoes,
Okay, so if you put shoes
and I'm
on-
flat-footed.
Me too. So am I. And I'm like 5'7" and a
Maybe-
half, closer to 8, whatever. But still, you had an inch.
Maybe they did it with the
I'm
shoes
5'8"
on at the doctor's. I doubt it. Though.
I'm no-footed. I just have stumps. I just have bloody stumps.
So that would be the reason why. And I do look like a cardboard cutout in that picture. I don't know
It's
what's happening. I'm like, the way the light is hitting.
I did
I'm like,
enjoy.
I thought-
I did enjoy Eric Webster's comment about like, did Dave make you stand that way so you wouldn't tower over him? Because you look like Marty Feldman in Young Frankenstein. It looks like you're hiding a hump. I'm like, what hump?
I do this. There's a whole thing. My father-in-law like made fun of me for this at one point. I lift my. I do this when I.
It's like,
And I-
like, come on,
I
Dave.
lift my
take a
shoulders. It's become a thing now. I know. My family's like, "What are you doing with the shoulders?" I'm like, I'm smiling for the camera. What am I doing?
Wait a minute. You laugh at me because when I do the Aunt Judy over here, I use my shoulder. You do the
Hey,
same thing.
You took the picture like this.
He was trying to be
Yeah.
Aunt Judy. Oh, me? Well,
I
I
like
was
that
pointing.
picture.
I
You
was
were
pointing to the
pointing at Bret Hart.
Canadian leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was like, hey, look at this. Check it out.
All I know is it looked like you had a lot of fun, and I was very jealous and angry.
Oh, well, we didn't want that. That was
No.
that was exactly. I knew. That's why it was kind of cool that I was going down to Jersey. That if we could make it fucking work,
It
it
will
would have
happen.
been perfect.
Will
It
happen.
will
Yeah, but-
happen
It's definitely happening.
in
We're
Canada.
gonna do that. Probably to begin with.
Probably.
Yeah, if
And
we all do
Dave
that.
got me this.
Yeah.
So I now have that to my
Oh,
collection.
nice.
Thank you, Dave.
Did he
Thank
get
you.
his thing? His
My
what is it?
CE.
Yeah.
CED.
I'm gonna
That
put a
is this
picture
one.
of it.
Nice.
Dude, it came out perfectly because listen, I didn't have. I mean, you guys have seen it and you saw it in real life. That there's no room on that thing to put it. So I'm trying to figure out
I
what
know.
the heck am I gonna do. But here,
cursing me.
check out how it worked out. Maybe I could find the picture. I took a picture. Here it is. Check this out. So it just so happened because with the luck of the draw, just because it happened to be part 3 and where my part 3s are located, look at where I put it and it fits.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it gets a spot on the shelf. Nice.
It's on the
Yeah.
side there,
Oh.
next to the all my part 3s are together still. So it's just I put it there against the wall next
Are
to
you
the
okay? What's going on?
Hey,
over there?
Dave.
Yeah.
I
don't
check
know what.
eBay right now. I know you said you're not collecting anymore, or trying to cut down, but I did see someone posting on eBay that they had 4 CDs and part 2, 3, and 4 were part of that pack, and it was roughly $40. I can't remember the price, but the shipping was ridiculous because it was obviously calculating coming to Canada. But I'm assuming it wouldn't be as ridiculous going to you.
One
So
would
it was
think.
just on eBay a couple of days ago, but I don't know. You would think it was part 1, but I don't think it was part 1. I
No,
think it was a totally different horror
You
movie
think you give him
altogether.
the heads up a few days ago when you found it? But
I meant to, and I forgot, and we just started talking about it now.
them
Yeah,
fuckers
Oh,
are
it's
gone.
gone.
What a
Them
fucking.
fuckers are
Completed
long
I'm
listing.
gone.
glad. I'm glad on my screen he's like a blur. I don't know if he's a blur on your screen right now, Dave,
Why
but
am
it's
I a
beautiful
blur?
to me.
He's not a
I
blur.
don't know. On my screen, you are. Damn it.
Mine is the important one, B. So don't worry about it. This is the
I
video.
know.
Now
but
he's not a
I-
blur. Oh,
Am I perfect now?
you're perfect now.
To
Yeah,
begin
no,
with.
I just paused my camera and I want to be perfect for Christian just to annoy the fuck out of him.
Am I perfect?
Yeah, that's true. Dave, that's true. Dave's camera's the only one that matters for this.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. What I can see, the world sees.
As long as I sound good to Christian and look good to Dave.
See? That's all you need in life.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
Dave, you know this. You know I mean, we kind of knew this, but I'm gonna put this in reality because before COVID, before we had to worry about getting across the fucking border, and hopefully that won't be a thing soon. But it sounds like September now is what what they're aiming at. You're 20 minutes from the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge. 20 minutes.
Yeah, buddy.
I made it when there was no traffic, and we made it on the way here. 45 minutes from our house to the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge. 45 minutes it took me. That means you're an hour and 5 minutes away.
Wow.
And
Well,
we
see?
just met.
I always said Daisy lives in Canada. I always said that. He's like, I'm in New York. Like, you're not in New York. You're in fucking Canada.
Well, the thing is,
Even if you, yeah.
I'm in New York, and I'm a New Yorker. Unlike New York City. See, people that do not live in New York City are bitter about it because New York City should almost be its own state. You know what I mean? Because it's all because of New York City. The entire state has to pay for the taxes and everything that has to do with it. And it's a real freaking pain in the ass. So we like to be, and I don't want to use the term because I'm not that. I'm not. I'm not going to say proud New Yorker because I'm anti-pride. But I'm just saying, I just want to say that I'm a New Yorker.
What about gay pride?
Yeah, I know. I was just saying, whoa, Dave.
Hey,
Whoa, hold on there, Dave. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Whoa. Now listen. Okay, this is going to be controversial. Okay, I'll use it in steps
Just
of
lost
me.
Scott.
I'm Italian.
Sorry.
It has nothing to do with gay, white, black, straight, Italian. It has nothing to do with anything. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. I never say that I'm proud of something. There's a reason for it. It causes more trouble than it's worth. And it causes opposition to be against you even more. If you're waving a flag saying I'm this and I'm proud about it, other people are like, well, okay, I already knew that. Why do you have to rub it in my face? And then, like, I'm Italian, okay? If there was an Italian pride parade, I would not go in it. Now, for me, being an Italian means that this is a fact. I vibe with other Italian people more. There's something about it. Every job I've had, everywhere I've gone, when I know someone's Italian, we become fast friends usually, and our sense of humors seem to be the same. There's like this unspoken thing, and so be it. But that's as far as it goes. I eat my food. There's a little bit of the language that comes down through the line, but I don't believe in pride, and I believe that it causes trouble because. See, I know you guys are.
At least you eat your food.
Yeah.
I eat my food, but do you get what I'm saying? No, I don't like the word. What it's saying is the word. Look it up. That's why it's said there is a reason for 7 deadly sins. Look at them. Watch fucking. Don't be proud. Look what happens to you. You know what I mean? So by having pride, don't you think that's not necessarily?
If it makes you guys feel better, I've never been proud of you.
I don't want to say I'm proud of the show because that means I feel like I'm egotistical.
You fucking guys, both of you hitting your mics every 4 seconds now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know exactly what you're saying. I don't necessarily like. Yeah, I never. Again, it's nothing. It's probably gone unsaid, or unspoken. I've never really thought much about it. But yeah, I guess I'm the same way. You know what I used to hate? I used to be embarrassed when the Euro Cup was on or whatever, and we'd always hear the Italians would always be honking their horns, and that would make me upset. I'd go the other way. I would separate myself from it because I'd be embarrassed. I'd be like, stop putting attention on ourselves. Just enjoy it quietly. Don't be so obnoxious about it. And it used to drive me crazy. And this is at the time when I grew up, it was the Italians that made noise. Now, the last 15 years, every nationality makes noise. I think it's just now become even more multicultural, and there's become more groups. Now you get everybody, and they're like, are you Canadian or are you not? And so it kind of drives me a bit crazy because I understand it's the heritage, it's the background, but I'm like, I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian with an Italian background, so I don't get into any of that stuff. And I never gelled with other Italian people much, actually, to be honest, other than my relatives, because it was a conflict. I always found it was a conflict, and I never really saw eye to eye with a lot of them, to be
Well, I
honest.
hope Dave got through to you, and you'll stop talking about your white pride now.
So now I go to this therapy group where we just wear these hoods because we're ashamed, and again I'm called the Grand Wizard or something like that. I don't know why they label me that, but it's
like playing. That's a magic gathering, right?
Yeah,
you're playing magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
I get to be the Grand Wizard. Scott was there. I get to be the Grand Wizard tonight.
See, I consider myself an Italian who happens to live in the United States of America because but 3 generations ago they happened to move here, and I happen to be born here. That's why I don't have American pride. That's why I don't do this stuff. I just think it causes trouble. And I'm not saying it can be misconstrued, but I like to explain myself. I'm not saying don't be, if you want to be proud of whatever you are, I'm not saying don't be. I just think that in my personal opinion, it causes more harm than good. That's all. I look at everybody as the same. I don't look at this guy. I talk to this black guy over here. I'm friends with a gay guy. I look at the human race.
How many people are in your basement right now? You're pointing left and right. There's black guys and gay guys everywhere.
I wish I had. I don't care. Just be as one.
Did you say I wish I had a black guy right now?
Oh, everybody. I just be as one. You know what I mean? I don't care what anything.
Be as one. That's what they call me. Be as one.
Yeah, be as one. Why does everything have to be separated? That causes trouble, and I don't understand why. And see, the thing is, if you say that, they'll shut you down. Both sides will shut you down. You know what I mean? That's why you need independent thinkers like me to go out and like I said, I'm trying to get Francesca to hopefully absorb some of this and go out and speak this, because she is, a biracial child and a female, and who knows, maybe she'll turn out gay. Maybe she'll have all of it working in her favor. Maybe one day she'll be able to speak on behalf of everyone.
And she's gay.
Maybe, and I don't care if she is. That's what I'm saying. But maybe she could someday come out and be a revolutionary, a speaker, someone for people to, listen to, look up to, and follow. But someone that is not a politician. I don't want to be involved with a politician. I want to be involved with a revolutionary, a political activist, if you will. But that's as far as I take. And I'm sorry, I just got on that pride thing. Because I see trouble all the time, and it's all because of that. It's just it's called stirring the pot.
Yeah. How did this start? Is what
I don't know.
I remember saying something about, what hump with Christian's picture with his shoulder, and then all of a sudden Dave's starting a revolution.
I'm all in my head. That's why we need bullshit shows. That's why we need to do this, because we can't plan this, and off we go. That's why hopefully we can change the format. Of course, right now we're still balls deep in Summer Sausage, episode 5 of 8, I want to say.
God.
Well, I'll just end with, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to meet you, and he told me we could stay if we got turned away at the border.
Of course you could stay. You can stay now.
Come back and you can sleep here. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's funny. It was great.
Yeah.
And my daughter wants to know, what did they do with the grass? I'm like, it looks like grass. What are you talking about? But she thinks the grass was greener. It was like a lighter shade of green, and everybody's grass looked flourished. It was just like it looked amazing. The grass is
always greener on the other side of Canada.
I'm like, it's fucking grass. But she seemed to think it just looked like you were in a rainforest or something like that. It was beautiful. Everybody's grass. So I pissed on everybody's fucking front lawn before we left. I was like, fuck you.
What do you mean now? All of the states, or just my street, or
just
all
your area? We came into your subdivision, and it was like, boom. She goes, you know what? She goes, you know what it reminded me of, Dad? That movie. She goes, I didn't watch it, but you watched it.
Vivarium.
Yeah, Vivarium.
Yeah.
You watched it. But the houses were like, she loved the houses and everything, but she said the grass was all perfect, and she almost thought it looked like artificial turf because it was like just so perfect.
I wish it were. Man, I wish I could afford artificial turf. But actually, no. If I could afford artificial turf, I could afford the same price it would cost for me to pay people to maintain my lawn. So I guess not. But when I was young, I used to always say, man, when I grow up, I don't want to cut the lawn. I just want to have artificial turf installed at my house and fucking never have to cut the lawn.
Are you guys allowed to? Because in Burlington, I think there's a bylaw that you're actually not allowed to. So someone had it out front, and then town made them pull it up. Because I don't know if it's supposed to be made for proper drainage, that the rain can come through and not affect things. But for some reason, there's like a bylaw, and he had to pull it up in his front yard. Look at Brandon sleeping again. I want to punch him awake.
I was pondering. I didn't even notice. I wasn't even looking at Brandon. I was just looking at nothing. I was pondering what you were saying because I'm like, there's another person.
This is the agriculture segment of the VH.
There's another person.
People are going to, the fuck are we paid this for?
We talked about grass. We talked about cucumbers.
And this is and check it though. When the feedback starts rolling in, this is the comments that are going to be made. It's going to be about this discussion. It's not going to be
Stop talking about grass.
Amityville Curse. Well, maybe. And then we'll say, someone's going to probably have advice. Oh, Dave, by the way, grass. Anyway, I thought I was the only crazy son of a bitch that ever considered putting turf on their fucking house lawn. So I don't know. I'm surprised someone else did it. I just thought it was a Dave Z, wackadoo original or some shit.
I heard you created turf.
Yeah.
I created nothing except for things at this show. Well, this show.
I created nothing. There's another quote.
Yeah,
I've created nothing.
3 years from now, Ram Man, I created nothing. Dave Z.
He's the total opposite of God. I've created nothing.
God put me here. There you go. Here I am. You did all this. What am I doing? I'm just sitting around. You said Eric Webster. I wanted to thank Eric Webster again on the show because I did one of those birthday donation things again, and he was very generous again. And this had to do with cats, and he's a cat man. But I mean that he didn't have to say that's why. That's awesome. It doesn't matter.
He's Catman Crothers.
It's weird. For my birthday, I did a donation for bald people. He didn't fucking donate a cent.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna freeze for better laughter.
He does have a nice cat, though. I am a big Pickles fan, or Pickle.
I haven't.
Pickle.
Pickles. What's it?
It's either Pickle or Pickles, one of his cats.
He's come up on 2 straight shows now because you said that last show because you were talking about him with a cat and another bald guy. Scott had a cat. Pickle was well, that's why the joke came up. It was about bald guys with cats.
We should get them both on the same show together. I'm not totally convinced they're not the same person.
Permanently.
I'm not totally convinced that Scott isn't a grand wizard of something. He looks like he's a wizard. But I don't know about the KKK. But I'm just saying, like he does look like he says he plays magic. I believe it. Like there's no question that he should like. I think he invented the game. he created it.
At least he doesn't play what you would call that. What's his name plays? Yu-Gi-Oh! That fucking game.
What? What is
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! You know?
I know what you're
talking about. What the hell is that?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh!
Why?
You can say it like that 1,000 more times. I'm not gonna know what it is.
Get the right enunciation. Eventually he'll get it.
No.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I don't know what you're talking about.
You said it perfectly for somebody who's pretending like you've never heard of it.
Talk about it in the chat. Somebody is and now who is it? Who the hell is it? Tyler?
Tyler's a big gamer.
Player of it.
Gamer.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, but he's
okay. Well, we talked about it in chat many times, all of us in our big chat. And Yu-Gi-Oh has come up many times, and I've made jokes about it because I always think about that fat fucking guy, Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know.
What fat fucking guy?
It's like this cartoon, or maybe it's from a video game or something I see. But it's like a fat Japanese guy, and he's dressed like a sumo wrestler, and he has like a thing in the back of his hair, like a stick, and he's all uptight. He goes, Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know.
Chopsticks.
You'd be screaming too if you had a big chopstick in the back of your head.
Ricky-O! Every time I hear that.
Oh, Ricky-O.
That's why I can't watch those things. All I picture is that fucking thing in my head. Oh, this, maybe he's even drunk. I think he might be a drunk character from a video game too. Like I don't know.
So it's a game. I'm 0% closer to knowing what this is other than it's a game.
A card game.
It's a card.
I guess I'm 1% closer. A card game. Uno. Is that what you're trying to say? Uno.
Uno, we had a game here called the Uno game when we were kids.
No.
Yeah, Uno. That game I know. Oh, he plays Uno. Great. I play Crazy Eights. What the hell's the fucking point of it?
The only gang ever in the history of North Tonawanda, New York, well, besides the Kingston, of kids, like a gang, a bunch of dumb white kids, friggin' they put together a gang and they were called Uno. And that was their freaking gang. And their gimmick was they would beat a kid up, and after they beat him up and threw him on the gun, they threw an Uno card on him. Can you believe such a thing happened?
The stupidity of that is Uno means one.
Yeah, I know. It's a gang. A gang
of one.
Right. Gang of one. Yeah, that is crazy. Maybe that's why. Maybe they saw the irony in that.
Did they ever throw the reverse card on him and then give him another beating?
I don't know.
I wanted to say, I just again, because going to the States, I'm not, again, I honestly I felt like I was going to a third world country. Just in my mindset, going in, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm going for my daughter. I really didn't want to go. But I know you guys are alive and well, and I hear about but I honestly felt like I was going into the eye of the storm, if you will. And whether I was going to Mexico or the States, it didn't matter. I felt like I was going into somewhere like uncharted territory, if you will. And then I get there, and everything, of course, is fine. Buffalo and the surrounding area was definitely the most considerate in the way they were still wearing most of them were still wearing masks. Not everybody. We went to a restaurant. We went to the pancake house that was down the street from you, Dave, which we didn't know at the time. And we had breakfast there, and we walked in with our masks, and people were kind of looking. We took them off, of course, because we're sitting down to eat. Makes it easier to eat. And then we left. But everybody we went to pharmacies, everything like that, and like a couple other gas stations, everybody was still wearing their masks. Get down to Pennsylvania, not a fucking mask in sight. Get down into Jersey. It was like, it was definitely a toss-up. Like where we were for the dance competition, it was the Canadian group and maybe 10% of the other people that were there. Maybe. Everybody else was maskless.
Damn.
Everywhere.
So you got to see the man behind the mask.
Yeah. I was telling people, can you put a mask on, please? Like, for the fuck. My kids are here.
Dude, I went to the airport yesterday to pick up my mother and stepfather, my daughter, right? And I got there, and I have not worn a mask in probably a month. I've been vaccinated for how long now? And I still wore them for a while, and then I slowly stopped doing it. I came back. I was out. I had to go this place. I saw Damien. I came back. I just had enough time. I saw Paul yesterday. Paul Stevenson, by the way. I saw him.
What was he running by your house on his daily 60-mile run?
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Hi, Dave.
But yeah, I saw Damien. I saw Paul. I drove around. I came, and then I had to come back. And my wife said, I cleaned the truck. Well, not a truck. It's the SUV. She goes, I cleaned it, and, there's more room in it, so why don't you pick up your parents? Why don't you pick them up in that thing? I said, okay. So I came home. I had just enough time to grab the car, and go. So I grabbed – did I tell you guys about the problem with the car?
It seems like it was filled with a lot of things that another person couldn't fit into it. That's where I was going with it. How much did you have to clean out of it?
You're not going to believe this. No, well, that's another story. Let me finish the story I was on. So I came here, got her vehicle, and drove down there, and I go and I park in the thing, and I go in, and as I'm walking, I'm getting closer, and I'm starting to see around me every single person I see in the parking lot, and everybody outside and in the street and going into where the doors open up to go into, every single person I see has a mask on. That is unusual this day and age. So now I'm starting to get a little nervous about it because I don't have a mask, right? And I didn't bring one. I don't know if she had one laying around in her vehicle or not, because she just got it cleaned. So I'm like, I don't know. But then I get in, and right before I'm about to go in, and those two doors that open up to get where the luggage comes in to pick them up, there's a sign on the door that says, whatever it is, everybody has to have a mask on at the airport. I didn't. You think my wife would fucking tell me? She only works there. But she didn't tell me.
There was also a sign below it that says, you just got wrenched.
I forgot to give her a hard time about it.
Yeah, the picture of Irene giving you the finger.
Yeah. F you, fuckface. Now clean up the car.
Shit. So I couldn't go inside, man. I had to go out and text them and say, listen, I didn't know we had to have a mask. But that's the only place I've been in the longest time where it's absolutely mandatory. Pretty much everywhere you go, the sign says vaccinated people don't have to wear masks. People that are not do. That's it.
You should have made Christian wear a mask in the video store.
I asked. I had it in my hand. I'm like, I didn't know if you wanted to wear a mask. He's like, I was going to come out with a mask too. That was like verbatim, the conversation. I'm like, we're vaxxed. He's vaxxed. I felt comfortable with Dave.
Yeah.
And now and I can't breathe.
You are too. Oh boy. So you did say something, didn't you? Weren't you feeling a little shitty earlier?
I am feeling, but we already got our negative tests back and everything like that. So.
Oh yeah, they tested you about
feeling,
1,000 times. That's
oh
right.
Oh my God, man.
For $1,000.
We had to pay for it. I don't understand. We had to pay for one just to get back into Canada, which benefits nobody except for the American economy.
Hell yeah.
Fucking crooks.
I mean, I had to pay. It was ridiculous. We had to pay through the nose, and then we had to do tests at the border.
Through the nose. The test.
Up the nose and through the nose, right?
Yeah.
Minga. So let me tell you the story. I can't believe it. Anyone who doubts me about my bad luck and how I can touch something and it can break, I'm telling you, people have seen this over time and they didn't know better. And I'm like, no, I go, these things are true. There's no rhyme or reason for it, and it happens. I have this crazy luck where things I touch just break. Even I could treat them, it doesn't matter. Everything fucking falls apart. So now,
remember, no hand jobs from Dave.
Wow, when it comes to
hand jobs from me, what were you about to say there?
When it comes to anything sexual, no, I got
okay, all right.
No. I'm only good at a few things, and that's anyway. Let me just say this: I took my wife's her SUV a few months ago for something or other. I forgot what it was. I usually don't. I usually take my car, but I took her vehicle and I came back, and then I got home and I had to go out and do something again. I 100% forgot the reason I was doing this, what the whole story entailed, but whatever. So now I drive the vehicle. I come back. I park it in the garage. Go in the house, and then she tells me I had to go do something else, or maybe I forgot something. I don't know. Bottom line is, I go out back into the garage. Okay, turn the key to start the truck, and this is what happens. Tick, 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 tick. Nothing. The car dies as if the battery broke or the starter broke or something. Just tick, 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 tick. Nothing. And I'm trying everything. Oh fuck, this fucking car just died. What the fuck? What's it gonna be? The battery, the starter? How much is this gonna cost me? It's in the garage. I'm bugging
You have
out.
jumper cables?
Well, yeah, I do have jumper cables. Yeah, but I'm not thinking it's just the battery. I'm thinking it's either way. I'm still bugging out. I'm always, yeah, something bad.
Car part, I know.
Right. Well, it could very well be the alternator in a situation like that. Yes. So I've had all this shit happen to me. So now this thing, I'm like, fuck, this fucking car's dead now. So now my wife comes out. She gets in the car. She turns the key. Fucking thing starts right up. I'm like, you gotta be fucking.
What? That's hilarious.
This is chapter 1. Okay. And she tells me, she goes, my car doesn't like you. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, fine. Now this is 2 or 3 months ago now. Okay. A week or two ago, I'm driving home from work, and she tells me, she goes, hey, I have to get ready for work, but she goes, I'm not gonna have time to do this, but it looks like one of my tires is low. Could you take the truck and let me know if I need to put air in it? If so, please put air in the tire. So I'm like, okay. So I get home. I come in the garage. Francesca comes out. She hands me the keys to the vehicle because she knows I'm going to be in a hurry to get all this shit done. So I got my car keys, my backpack from work, and now she hands me these car keys. I get in her car. Now, it's been 3 months since I've driven this car, okay? I get in this damn thing. I drive it. I go on the boulevard here. I go to Quick Fill over here to put gas, not to put gas in, but now they have an air machine there. So
what was the cost of unleaded?
Sorry. Oh, I didn't look. I didn't get gas.
I wanted that detail in the story.
Nope. So I go and I park the car. The car's running. I usually leave the cars running. I fill the car up with air. I'm putting the air in the fucking tire. It's a little low in the back. I shut the car off because I want to do the right thing and listen and see if I hear air coming out of the tire. And maybe there's a hole up. I want to see what's going on here.
It didn't start again when you put it back
on. The fucking car didn't start again.
Oh, God.
I could not fucking believe it. Do
your tick sound. What was the sound again?
Yeah. That was it, dude. That's the noise it made. And I'm telling you, believe me when I tell you, I exhausted every possibility. I put my foot on the brake. Then I tried tilting the steering wheel because cars are weird sometimes.
Sounds like you exhausted the exhaust.
I reached over for the passenger side and tried to start it. I tried every fucking possible thing. Why is this car not starting? Well, now I call my wife.
Turns out you were in the wrong car.
Yeah.
You filled up the wrong car with air.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll come pick
Meanwhile,
you
this
up.
woman called the cops.
Excuse me, sir. Get the fuck out of my car. Wait, that's a Christian thing. That's a Christian.
Yeah.
I was so fucking mad because she calls me. I text her and she goes, I'll come pick you up. I'm like, well, guess what? I have my car keys here. I don't have you. You can't come pick me up. So then she says, oh, she goes, that's okay. She's like, I'll send Michelle over. Michelle was my fucking next door neighbor, Chicken Little. No. And I told her at that moment, I said, I talk to my wife and my daughter because I love them and I have to. I don't want to talk to any fucking buddy else, especially the way, as angry as I am right now. I do not want to see another human being. I will walk home. Hopefully by the time I get home, I've cooled off. That's what I told. There's no way I wanted someone else, my next door neighbor, coming to me when I'm fucking about to blow my fucking brain, So I walk home. I call AAA on the way. Had them dispatched. Everything else. Call my buddy Scott, who's a mechanic, and say, hey, I'm gonna have them tow it over there. Okay, fine. So I get
He's a
home.
wizard. He's not just a mechanic. He's a wizard.
He's a wizard of the world.
different
That's what
Scott.
you heard.
A grand wizard?
And anything else is quite absurd. So now I come back home.
Dave, what are you resting your coffee on? A fucking African drum?
A table.
Everything.
What do you want from here? Well, I got a coaster. Here. I don't have a coaster here.
No, you don't.
I'll put it on my.
Yeah, he turned his car into a fucking coffee table because it wasn't working.
You sound like a snake over there, or like a beep.
Well, that's what I'm trying to make everything into the story like a song.
And then B's got to do is, and then we find out.
I'm never doing that again.
That's a great callback, though.
I have a feeling Damien heard that yesterday.
Oh boy. Okay. So
Well, wait. You gotta finish. Yeah, one and then go
I'll
to
finish
the
it
other.
now.
Because I gotta find out.
Bottom line is this: I picked Irene up. I said, no. I go, you're coming here. You start the car. Maybe sure enough, she got in the fucking car. The car started right up. I said, listen, enough of
Are
this
you fucking crazy?
No, this has been happening to me all my life with shit. Everything. So now I can't even get water to come out of those automatic dispensers and fucking like you ever go to like a restaurant and you put your hand underneath the faucet and is there the what won't work. I'm not kidding you. This fucking shit happens to me all my life. So now she starts to write up. I said, I don't care that it started. I called AAA canceled. I said, we're going to Scott's right now. We're going to find out what the fuck is the problem with this car. So we take it over there. He does the whole fucking diagnostic. He goes, well, maybe if the battery's running low, this could happen sometime. Battery was not running low. This was not a problem with the alternator. The wiring was fine. He goes, maybe there's he did a whole fucking run over. There was nothing wrong with this fucking car. And he just knew. He goes, that's just our luck, Dave. I go, yeah. Okay, just making sure. But anyone that ever
$500.
Yeah, that's your luck.
That's your luck, Dave. $500.
Well, pretty much. Yeah.
Luckily, he's my best friend, and he didn't. There's no charge.
Did Irene give you a lesson on? Are you turning the key? I mean,
buddy,
I think
many times.
What's going on? Like how?
He's a gremlin.
No way.
I think you're just a gremlin.
There's no way to explain it. I am. Well, I call myself the fucking. I used to say I'm cursed, And when I got with Irene, what was the name she called me? Jinxie. Jinxie was the name. But everyone that gets around me for a long period of time, they don't believe it. They don't believe that this shit happens in my life until they're a part of it. And if I touch a computer, it'll break. I'm telling you. And
I didn't even touch my car when I visited.
I'm telling you.
I gotta get the fuck out of Dodge.
Right? I handle shit.
My Dodge won't start. Dave touched it.
Buddy, I kid gloves. I don't touch nothing. I'm very, very careful. You should see the way I take care of my things. Just because I have that mentality. Shit's going to break. Shit's going to break.
But evidently, when you touch your front lawn, it makes the grass greener.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money. Now, the same thing happened at work with a computer. Everybody in the place can do this app where you check in every day because you got to do these questions for COVID before you come in. Everybody can do this app. You go to the app, you go and you press a button. Okay, my answer is no, I haven't been sick. I haven't had this, right? Everybody except me. The app will not fucking work for me at all. Then some other thing happened at work with a computer that they had to send that it works for everybody else. But for me, they had to get different circumstances because the shit doesn't work. This has happened to me all my fucking life. These are facts. So There you go. Just
Okay.
be happy or not. You don't have to live your life like that. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, ain't it? Anyway, I didn't mean. I sorry.
I've created
fine.
nothing.
This confession has meant nothing. Yes.
I need to know what the fuck happened with Damien.
Okay. So I wonder if I have any recordings here. Hold on a second here, because I was going. I actually I did a video before I went in that I was going to put on,
Before I went in.
and then I did an audio. Hold on, let's see what I have here.
That's
And I want.
usually how they start the Netflix documentaries, with that last video. This was the
I
last
have-
time he was seen.
Oh, here's the video. Here, check it out.
So here it is, as promised. I'm anxiously awaiting the arrival of Damien. It's 11:49. The meeting is at noon, but here I am. I'm gonna text him.
A meeting.
See, as you can see, I parked right next to the handicap, and I'm facing outward toward the boulevard. So I'll be easy to see. So when he pulls in, if he's not here already, I'll know where to look. But it's going to be interesting. I'm doing the old Goodfellas routine. I arrived there 10 minutes early, and I found out that Jimmy was already there. You know. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Everybody, let's see what happens. I got to send him a message. Maybe I'll put up another video, and we shall see. But it's going to be interesting.
Okay. So that was the beginning. That was the first thing I made, and now I was correct. He was already there. When I sent him the message,
Watching you make this fucking video.
I got there 10 minutes early, and he was already there.
Making his own video of you making that video.
Hey, here it is. I don't know
Which I've
what.
got.
Oh, I only have a 13-second recording and a 3-second recording, and I don't know what's on them. I've not listened. Let's see what came out of it, though. My plan was to record everything, but hold on.
So we're going in.
Hey!
Oh,
Hey! Don't put that in my ass. Hey!
Oh my god, that's like Geraldo going to Al Capone's safe. We got nothing.
And there's 3 seconds. I don't know. It's must have been right after. I don't know. Hold on.
Hey.
But when I say I got horror.
Did you hear that? Oh, he said, when I say I got a horror. Hold on, wait a minute.
But yeah, I got when I say I got horror.
Wow, of all things to record. Well, my plan was this. I
the
worked
hell
it
are
out
we
with my brother the night before.
Okay.
Me and Mike and Scott were hanging out the night before, and I was like, okay, what should we do? And then we figured out, they go, well, you could take your phone and put it on voice memo, and we tested it. We did a whole test, Mike and I, right there. I recorded the whole thing. I put voice memo on, hit record, and then I put it face down. I was going to put it face down on the table and record everything and see what was going to happen in case anything ridiculous happened. You know, so apparently I'm very sad that, you know, nothing recorded. But I will tell you
That's
this.
Dave Z luck. You didn't turn the key.
I don't know how it didn't record. Yeah, motherfucker. So I will tell you this. This guy, big news. Big news. This guy has 7,000 movies on his Plex.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. That's the big news. I will tell you this. It went just fucking fine. He's a normal guy. I had a cup of coffee with him. 90 minutes I was there with him, having a cup of coffee and bullshitting. Time flew by. He was as normal as fucking could be. More normal than I ever thought he would have turned out. How about that? Just a fucking dude.
Oh,
Yeah, just fine. Like being a guy.
he asked for 30 minutes and you got 90. That's a little
Well, he had
ballsy.
to name all 7,000 movies on his Plex.
Yeah.
Who was this Nudie?
Yeah.
No, I had a real good time. Everything was cool.
That's what we should call him now, Aunt Nudie. Oh, Dave, I've got some.
Aunt Nudie.
And Nudie. Well, Brendan, I'll give you exclusive access to my Plex. And Nudie. I don't need fucking Nudie anymore. Good. But between No, it's true. Well, remember, he got mad at me and he kicked me off of his Plex on top of everything. You know what I mean? And I was I was mad about that more than anything. More than losing his friendship, I was mad I lost the Plex. I was like, what the fuck?
He's so honest.
I am honest.
I'm only with you for your Plex.
I'm not only with him.
Yeah.
I wasn't only with him for that, but when I saw the way he behaved and the kind of person I perceived him to be, getting that angry about something that he didn't really know enough about, inserting himself into a situation because he happened to be in love with whatever. Just the way he behaved, I was disappointed in his behavior. So yes, I was disappointed to lose his friendship, but I was more disappointed to be losing the Plex after, because I'm like, well, if this is the way this guy's gonna act, I don't want to be his friend anyway. But I'd still use his Plex.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Right. Well, hell, my first wife I had with the first fight I ever had with Irene was because even though I couldn't stand my ex-wife and she knew it and she knew everything that went down between us, that on Halloween night I went to watch my Halloween Blu-ray and it wasn't there, but I knew that my ex had one. So I messaged her and I went to her house and I picked one up and she gave it to me. And she's like, well, why would you borrow a movie from her? This and this, she does this to you, this and that. She's doing this to your daughter, that, blah, 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 all this shit. I go, yeah, but I'm still benefiting from it. She still give me something. I could hate her and I did hate her, kind of. I'm like, even if I hate somebody, if you could still do something good for me, why would I not take it? That's what I told her. That's the way I am. Not that I hated nudity.
Did she edit the movie? Did she like edit the music out? Just make it a horrible experience for you? Like Michael Myers isn't even in part 1?
Yeah.
No, she didn't do nothing. But it's just, I've had sex with people that I've hated before. It doesn't matter. But people that have done terrible things to me. It's true. But I was just there for the sex because I don't like their personality or anything else about them, I'm still physically attracted to them. I don't, you know what I mean? It's not love. It's strictly lust. I could not like somebody and have sex. As a matter of fact, sometimes that adds to the passion if you don't like somebody.
The only person I don't like that I have sex with is myself.
Oh, that is the worst kind. Mama.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm a little disappointed that he doesn't have his head on his mantle. But
no, I'm gonna hang out with him again when I get the chance. But he knows how busy I am. I told him everything about this, that, the podcast, and I barely have any time. So he knows this. But he's a normal guy. He goes out. He's been bowling since I've known him since he was young. But he has a couple guys.
Bowling.
With. Yeah. It's just
a long time since you guys are young. That's a long time to be bowling. Is he taking a break besides to get coffee with you?
He's got a good job.
More importantly, is he going to be a fucking patron? Is he giving us any fucking money?
I don't know.
Yeah. Did you work your marketing genius?
I don't know. He knows.
What trilogy did he pick? What shitty fucking trilogy did he pick?
90 minutes and he's not a fucking patron? What the fuck?
Dave was just happy.
It's all right. Yeah, I have his friendship and I have his Plex too, and I always feel bad. I'm like, well, I'm saying I do feel bad because I tell him, I tell him like I tell everybody.
Leave the friendship, take the Plex.
I'm like, I hate to be a leech, but if somebody could teach me how to do something, I would upload. How do you do it? I don't know. I'm not a tech guy, but if somebody showed me, hey, I'd be more than willing to share. And everyone that's shared their Plex with me, I've said this to, because I have that guilt. I don't like just leeching. I don't. No, I do. I feel guilty.
No, I know what you're saying. I don't Plex just because I don't need an excuse to watch even more movies than I already do. If everything's available to me, forget it. I'll watch 8,000 2021s.
Buddy, between this guy here, between Damien now with all this stuff, and he has everything done. He makes his own collab. This is his hobby. He does all this stuff. He'll go down the rabbit hole and he'll make all these collections. He has one thing. It's like the Bruce Willis collection, and it's like every movie that Bruce Willis was in one thing. He does his own thing.
Very weird if it was every movie like Bruce Dern was in. That'd be a very weird Bruce Willis collection.
But he goes the extra mile on all these things, and he does have some horror. I mean, he had May on there, which I was surprised. He had May. He had fucking Inside. I mean, yes, he has the mainstream shit, but he also had a couple of these. He was like, yeah, and he goes, if there's anything you can't find that from whatever, I told him about the 1970 things, like, let me know. Because he's obviously, he's really big into the torrenting thing. He's on the sites, he torrents, and he puts them on his Plex. And he has an IP or a VPN, whatever it is that protects you from whatever, the government and all that. So he does it. He's really good at it. So I'm like, what?
Is his name Sam Torrance?
Sam Torrance. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that would be my handle. Yeah.
Sam Torrance? A combination of Sam from Sal Trick or Treat and Jack Torrance?
Hell yeah. Or Jack
What?
Torrance. Any type of
That
Torrance.
would,
Oh, jeez.
Torrance.
It went over my head. I'm like, Torrance, motherfucker. Damn it, B. That's a good joke. I'm just an idiot. I'm not taking
They
away
can't
from
all be winners.
It's a winner. I'm the loser. I'm the one that couldn't get the fucking obvious.
I'm the loser. I created nothing.
And I don't have any pride, so that's okay. I can't be a loser and create nothing. I'm just trying to live my life and enjoy it, man, at the end of the day. But yeah, the bottom line, I had a great time. It was really, really, I'm telling you, 90 minutes flew by. So I had to go, and he had to go. But I mean, we're like, yeah, we'll have to hang out again. We'll figure out some time to hang. But no, it was a real cool experience, man. So sorry to disappoint, but I'm healthy and happy.
I'm a little disappointed.
I know. I tried to punk you guys. I was like, you won't believe it. But, you know.
Christian and I were texting each other. We're like, we're finally not going to have to do EH anymore. And neither one of us had to quit it. Like, Dave's just going to be gone.
Don't tell the patrons.
Don't tell the...
I'm starting a new show, the Dave and Damien Power Hour. Imagine that.
Yeah. Who's on top?
What the fuck?
How come there hasn't been like a porno Abbott and Costello routine called Who's on Top?
Right? There has to be.
There has to be, right?
If not, we should write
No,
one.
I don't think there is.
We should put one in our
write it.
movie.
We should write.
It
That's our
writes
next. That's how it writes itself. I sat there. Nothing wrote itself. I sat there for 3 hours. Paper was fucking blank. Nothing wrote itself.
Yeah. I had this. Who's on top? At the top.
We should do it though. Who's
We
on
should
top?
do it.
Not two men. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying. Well, maybe not.
Not that there's
Maybe have two men.
maybe
It
two and a
might
half men.
Oh,
My God. Never before in my life have I thought I'd be excited about talking about one of the movies like Amityville The Curse.
oh, fuck. Speaking of this, check this. This is the craziest thing. Remember, you guys laughed at me because I said that I was having a rendezvous with Damien? Well,
Yes.
literally, I got a text yesterday. Scott and Mike texted me, and Scott sent a fucking text and says, just like you guys, people were concerned what happened with Damien, you know? So last night, 7:56 from Scott. So how did that rendezvous go today? LOL. A rendezvous too.
Because you knew it was stupid. That's exactly it. I think he was making fun of you.
Well, I didn't call it a rendezvous. I'm just saying that I happened to say it around you guys, and then he said it to me. Oh, okay, I got you. So there's
I think
that.
I think he was alluding to the fact maybe it was innocent, but I think he was alluding to the fact that it was a weird type of meeting and that he expected some head giving to have gone down.
Or
Yeah,
head taking.
We're all kind of curious about it. Hi.
Take it.
Just saying hello to Frankie.
Hey,
just got-
Frankie!
Hello, Frankie.
Said
Welcome
hi, I know.
home.
Welcome home, they said.
Thank you.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
Little-
Get that back.
Oh yeah, that's another thing is our daughters, man. We got to get them together. I think they really get along. You know.
Ah, thanks for reminding me I'm all alone. Yes. I've created nothing. You at least created.
So-
I've created nothing.
You've created peace and quiet and solitude. That's not so bad, buddy.
Yeah.
Solitary confinement.
Peace of mind, homie. See, it's all about the way you think. See what I mean? It's all about state of mind. You could take it negatively or you could take it positively. And I would choose to say, hey, this is solitude, man.
I am now a ward of the state of mind.
Shit. So speaking of sausage series, summer sausage, this happened yesterday, and it's kind of funny, and I couldn't wait to share it. Well, not really speaking of it, and we started speaking about 5 minutes.
Say, no one mentioned it. There's not even we didn't allude to it. Speaking of summer sausage.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
It was in my mind, summer sausage, because
In my mind.
Well,
Always on my mind. Always on my mind. That was the Pet Shop Boys version.
I like the Pet Shop Boys version. Don't you make fun of the Pet Shop Boys version of that song.
I like him too, but that was more like Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
I know. That was the joke.
That's
That
the
was
joke.
the
I know.
joke that he sang it like Willie Nelson instead of the Pet Shop Boys version. That was his brilliant joke that you had to fucking
I get it.
psychoanalyze.
I was telling you because you said you didn't like the Pet Shop Boys or something. Wait a minute. Maybe I didn't love you, you know? So anyway, what the fuck? This is the craziest coincidence, and it doesn't make any sense except for this summer sausage thing. Yes, last night when I went to my shelf to grab Texas Chainsaw Remake, you know, obviously they're all alphabetized. So I look Texas Chainsaw 2, here we go. I'm going through, and I grab a movie that should be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake. And I grab it, and no shit, I pull out the Amityville Horror remake. The Amityville Horror was in the Texas Chainsaw Remakes fucking slot. So then I said, well, wait a minute. If this happened, let's go over to the Amityville Horror one and see what's there. And I did, and Texas Chainsaw was there. How fucked up is that?
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. What are the odds?
It would have been even crazier if there was a Pet Shop Boys CD in there. That would have really blown my fucking mind.
Because that would have been the one that was sold.
Mind. You have just blown my mind.
Maybe I should play the Willie Nelson version right now, always on my mind. And then when I play it and press play, the Pet Shop Boys version starts playing. That would be some shit.
Or your phone will just break.
I know, right? No, they don't matter. Yes, this fucking phone. This phone's been giving me so much trouble for the past year. Everything was great with Apple for a couple years. Now, everywhere I go, I'm having issues, right? So last night, I'm in bed with my wife, and she did something. We were trying to order some food, and we were
It was
looking
Apple
at the site.
vibrator.
She did something.
Oh, fuck.
She did
No,
something.
we're
I didn't
trying
consent to.
We were looking at something online. We were going to order some food. So we're sitting there, and I'm trying to go to the website, and I Google the name of the place, and it comes up, and then I hit website. And the fucking thing is loading, fucking a minute. And I said, is this I go, I want to say that it's just fucking AT&T now or something that's taken a shit over the last year because I had trouble. I said, baby, give me your phone. It's right next to mine. Let's try it on your phone and see. Sure enough, she did it. Fucking loaded right up. So it's just me and my fucking phone. And this always...
Your side of the bed is a dead zone.
Literally.
Everything's a fucking... Literally.
You know what? Whenever you have those problems consistently, you just take IT 101, you reboot your phone. I know it takes time, but 30 seconds later, you're up and running and the internet's working perfectly. It always happens.
So just shut my phone down? I've done that.
Completely.
I've done that.
And
Shut it
reboot
down.
it.
And then, in other words, just hit this button here until it shuts
Hold
down.
it until it says, yeah, exactly.
Right, and then wait a few minutes and turn it back on. Oh, I've done that fucking half a dozen times the past year.
And that doesn't solve it.
Nothing.
Then it's you.
No shit, it's fucking me. Dude, and when
try the truck keys. Put the truck key in the USB
Yeah,
port.
have Scott give that phone a little overhaul.
Dude, I won't even pick things out. I've been to the point. It took the last 15 years or so. I won't. I want to take whatever. I want to let someone else decide for me because my decision is always the wrong one. So if we're buying phones, like if Irene and I go to the store and we're both buying iPhones that day, whatever, at the same time, I go, okay, pick which one you want, because I know if whatever one I pick's gonna be shit, and it doesn't matter. Even if she picks, I end up with.
I'll take the iPhone 5.
No, make it the 4. Make it the 4.
5C.
5C.
I don't pick. I'm always the last guy. When I would do fantasy drafts, I would have everybody else fucking pick the number, and I would just take whatever number was left because you draw cards for the order of the draft number. I said I'm not going to pick. Someone else do it.
I'm getting my punter first round. Get my punter first round.
My punter. Oh, fuck. So there was one more thing. Let's do a movie, and then what do you say?
Hold on,
And I could do this all day. I really could. But again, we're going to propose this. We're going to propose. Should we do this every 3 shows? after the summer series is over, because we got 3 more episodes of summer series.
Oh God.
That's the summer itself.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it 3 more.
Oh, I'm so excited for the next one. To watch the beginning, I fucking love that movie. And the next Amityville, I'm fine. Amityville
It's
for
not the TCMs that are killing me.
Okay.
It's these Amityvilles.
Well, if I do my math, we'll get to the
If
end.
I do my math, please don't do your math.
As long as Brandon doesn't do his math, then we're okay.
Oh, that's true. But my enjoyment level is pretty close. If I do the numbers of all the ratings I've given everything, it's not going to be that far off at this point. It's pretty. We'll see how it ends up. But
This is why the car doesn't want to start for you.
Yeah. This is like Amityville. Like, nobody likes these movies.
Nobody likes the Hellraiser sequels either. But yet, when I watched them a couple years ago, I did, and that's why we're going to do them next year for the thing.
Jason Smith just watched them all and said he liked them all too.
Well, he likes everything. So that's
He didn't like the Amityvilles, right?
That's true.
Maybe-
He actually texted me. I feel bad that you got to watch The Curse.
Well, okay. Well, I'll
Actually,
wait until we get into it. I'll wait till we get into it because
We're gonna do it now.
it's interesting.
Let me just introduce.
Are we start with the curse? Yeah, I guess we should start with
Let's
the
do
curse,
it.
right?
Oh, what do you want to start with? It's about time.
He's already watched it. This fucking guy.
I know. He watched it 6 months ago. He thought it
I
was
did
part
watch
2.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's about time we get to this fucking movie. All right, the Amityville Curse from 1990. Five people spend the night in an abandoned house, the Amityville Haunted House, and soon find themselves terrorized by assorted ghosts, venomous insects, and ghostly apparitions. Venomous insects? What the? Did you see any venomous insects in this movie? I saw one fucking tarantula.
Yeah.
And it was a fake ass looking tarantula. It was the one from the Beyond that was hopping around.
It was a regular tarantula.
I don't
walking.
think so. He looked like he was dancing. He looked like
No,
he was
it looked real. I'll give it to Dave. It looked real.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that is I read that
looks
review
real.
or
It was
read
doing
that
the fucking-
description.
No, it wasn't. It was a walking tarantula on a blanket, or what? The other. It walked around twice.
Oh,
It was just a
walking
fucking.
tarantula on a blanket.
It was just
First
a
of
walking
all,
tarantula.
There are no tarantulas in Long Island.
That's why it's scary. It's a haunt. That's what makes it more scary. You know
And
what I
second
mean?
of all,
that
that
was
wasn't
the
even
end of the review,
Amityville
right?
house.
Huh?
That wasn't even the same house.
I know. It's a damn
No,
shame.
that's stupid. Why the hell? Every other movie has a fucking Amityville house. That would have probably, and I'm not joking, that probably would have at least jumped it up half a notch. I'll give it a little half a notch curve. If they just got the regular fucking house, it makes no sense. It was stupid and lazy. So right at the beginning, I'm like, what the fuck? And I swear this was part 4. I think that this movie was made before The Evil Escapes. I can't find, I took 2 minutes of my time to try to research this and I couldn't find anything. But I think that this was shelved. I really do. And I think this was made before It's About Time or Evil Escapes. But I could not find proof of it. Because when I grew up, I don't remember The Evil Escapes at all, but I remember the Amityville Curse being announced, and I swear that was the 4th one in the series.
Oh, and the actor in this one, Kim Coates, he's the guy who has the paper plate in his head.
All I know that the acting, they did feel like Prom Night 4-ish. The lighting and the feeling was very Prom Night 4-ish. The lighting was the best thing about this movie. This had more atmosphere than the one that we just watched, The Evil Escapes, and It's About Time. The lighting was on point. However, everything else about this is boring and tropey and just nonsensical. Like, I don't even get it.
Okay.
And,
I don't.
And I don't even know. There's no resolution for some of these characters, right? Do we ever find out what happened to Marvin? Did we? Did I miss something?
Marvin's dead.
What, did he die in his sleep?
No,
What
he
happened?
got bashed over the head.
My head was all bashed apart.
Oh, by Kim, right?
By Kim Coates.
Kim's character?
Yeah.
Kim Carnes.
Yeah, man.
Is that Kim Carnes
how
or is that Kim Coates?
That's good old Kim Coates. That's Tig. Come on, man. Shit. Kim Coates is great.
Okay, so there is resolution. I'm wrong. I just was so bored that I watched this at 1.25 speed, and it was fine. It didn't actually affect the timing of anything. I forgot I was watching
I
at
watched it at
1.25 speed.
4.25 speed. In fact, I didn't even have to put it on. I took it out of the case and it was over.
The first half hour I watched regular, and then I realized this is not moving fast enough.
Oh, this was.
And then I put it there.
You're right. It's tired. It's the same old scares. I felt like by the end, I felt like they had an interesting idea with the priest being a sinner and evidently having a child and abandoning God, whatever, having this moment of sin and spawning that. I felt like that could have made for a good movie if you take out the ghost stuff. But then it's not an Amityville movie, of course. But
Well,
they
just wedged that in.
But I felt like that was the best part, the wedged in part. Like, oh, the priest.
No, the wedged in the Amityville stuff. I mean, if it was it's like, like, how did that shit? Why did they go to this house and all that confessional stuff? It's in the church, and suddenly it ends up in the fucking basement of this house. Are they saying the whole town's cursed? I don't get it.
Explain that part though. They say why it was only moved
well.
there. Well, the church apparently bought it. They owned it, and they used it as their rectory. They just stored stuff there. Because nobody was buying the house, obviously.
Rectory darn near killed them.
This was not made for TV, was it? Was this made for TV?
It feels like
there was
tits. There was that's what was
what are there?
Video.
There's
Tit tots.
Well, what's her name? She didn't get naked, did she? The real pretty girl.
The one in the tub. The one in the tub.
Oh, that's right. I like
this
her.
is on YouTube for everybody that wants to watch this, because you can't find it pretty much anywhere else unless you got that Region 2 DVD, but it's free on YouTube.
You could rent it on Amazon.
Ooh, well, why would you? Free on YouTube.
I didn't feel like sitting in front of the computer watching it, so I rented it for $1.99.
I watch it on your TV. I just go to the TV. Boom. Yeah.
Mr. Parker. Dave Parker's got it on his Plex. Aren't you on the Plex, B? For all the 70s thing? What the fuck's the matter with you?
I've created nothing.
I am, and I still went to YouTube.
Thanks,
was it 4x3? Was yours all 4x3 as well? I'm assuming.
Yes.
It was fine.
It was fine. Oh, good.
Mine was
It was the fine aspect ratio.
Mine was 4x3, but I was hoping somebody was going to hit me with a 4x4.
Awesome. Beautiful. I was hoping that's where that was going. That was fan-fucking-tastic.
Dude, even the main character, this main chick, this Debbie character, they allude to the fact that she has some sort of like sixth sense, this sort of spiritual connection, because she like makes him stop in front of the house, and that's the house they're gonna buy and fix up.
Correct.
But they don't really do enough with her. I feel like
they do too much with her. Wow.
No, I feel like the whole movie is her just walking around in a daze, and they're not doing anything.
Talking like a little kid.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Are you a grown fucking woman? What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. Every line she said, it was fucking. I thought I wrote down some of them, but.
That's amazing. I didn't catch on that at all. I just thought she talked normal.
There is some fucking ridiculous dialogue here. Like when she first takes a bath, and she's like, rust, definitely not my color. And like, what the fuck?
What'd you say?
Rust.
Rust.
Oh.
Rust, definitely not my color. Then that nail gun mess up, where the nail gun, because they're trying to turn the power on, and then the nail gun suddenly starts going, and he goes, "Don't you know how to use that thing?" I don't know how I missed. So what does that mean? You meant like you should have killed him? I don't know how I missed you.
Oh, how he missed what he was trying to hit.
No, he was like, it was like, and it went against the door right beside the guy. He's like, "Don't you know how to use that thing?" He goes, "I don't know how I missed." Meaning he doesn't know how he missed
a group of friends where everybody seemed like they were 20 years apart. This was very strange, this casting. Like they're all acting like they went to school together. Marvin looks like he's 60. I told Dave, I know Dave, he gave logical reason for it, because the heat breaks in the house, so they're cold in there. But Marvin looks, for most of the movie, like he's wearing his entire wardrobe for the film all at the same time. He's got like 75 shirts on.
Carrie walked in while I was watching it. She's like, "What the fuck is that guy wearing a scarf?" I go, "Oh, the heat's off." She goes, "But he's not doing. It's just draped around his neck. It's not like wrapped around, so it's like not really doing anything. It's like almost like a fashion statement at that point. It's stupid with that." Okay, and Marvin sounded like a really low-key George Costanza. That's all I could think of. You go back and watch it again and close your eyes. He sounded like George Costanza.
Oh, sounded. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Those were my notes. That's literally all I wrote. Those 3 points.
Yeah. I got tons of notes. Holy fuck. But I'll tell you the
Really?
difference is. Yeah.
I like the effects. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Dave.
Go ahead, B. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say a few of the things I liked were the effects down in the cellar with the confessional. The demons they showed were cool, even though it kind of looked a little silly. The Freddy Krueger demon biting through the confessional was kind of cool.
No, that was better than anything we saw in the other movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I actually like that was better than anything in the Evil Escapes.
Yeah,
sure.
And then she has a vision of like the zombie demon like out there, and that looked very Fulci, because we just covered Fulci, and it just looked very 80s, like zombie-ish, creepy.
I was okay with Kim's
it.
face. Is that candle wax?
What now?
That burns him?
Oh my god.
What did she throw on his face? Was that candle wax?
Oh, I don't know what it was.
No, that was like the Beyond. It's like some of the acid that they have hanging on the top shelf. Everyone always has a bottle of acid.
Wanted to be Fulci. It's like the TV version of the Beyond. It had him being burned with the fucking wax. It had the tarantula.
Yeah.
It's really weird, actually, that you're saying all this.
That was a dancing tarantula. He was just like...
This was a Fulci movie. Who knew?
This was the third one, but then he took his name off of it and decided to put House of the Cemetery instead.
The original title for this film was The Beyond Awful.
You're on a fucking roll, B. That was fucking time.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk.
My phone was still my. Sorry, Dave.
No,
I can't believe you're Go.
Well, hold on. I'm not defending it. When you hear my rating, it's not a defense at all. No, it's what I'm saying is I was actually on board for the first 2 acts. It was just nothing to write home about. Just an average fucking horror movie. Okay, I saw it and I won't watch it again. Just a flick. I was okay, but that's the difference. I wasn't bored by it. I was okay. It clicked along. Did I want a little more to happen? Yes, but I figured that's what the third act is for, and so be it. But I was fine. Like I remember like pausing it at one point because I had to get up, and I was thinking it was like earlier, and it was like at the 59-minute mark. I'm like, oh, this is actually clicking along okay for me. So I was fine. My complaint is the third act. Again, I think 3 movies in a row now in this freaking franchise. But in the third act, here's the thing. I think I just don't understand the reveal. But it seems like I looked online and everybody else seems to think that if I understand the reveal of the who and the why and who the guy hanging is and what's happening here and why that guy hung himself and why this guy's doing the killing now, if I can connect those dots, I may enjoy the movie more. But I was just kind of in a state of confusion once they got to that point. And I'm like, what's in the picture? Who's the baby in the picture? Is he possessed or was he the killer? What's going on?
You might be the killer.
You might be the killer. So I had questions, but I was okay with the setup. I'll tell you one thing, plain and simple, mister. You don't know shit.
You don't know shit.
That's what the guy said in the bar.
Yeah,
the one guy.
in the bar.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
What's a mite peaked? What's a mite peaked mean?
Oh, it means you look peaked. You look a mite, a little bit like a mite, a small amount. You look a mite peaked.
Oh, mite. Yeah, like a mite.
Yeah, you look a mite peaked. You know, it's something like an Englishman would say. But who said that? Mrs. Moriarty?
Yeah, Mrs. Moriarty.
I have finally figured out how to say that word because of this movie. Even though I know people with that last name and one listener, but because I wrote it down and now I figured out I wrote MORY-ARTY. Moriarty. For some reason, you can't say it.
Moriarty.
Moriarty. Oh my God. I can't say it.
Moriarty.
I passed it on to him. I used to have trouble pronouncing it.
Sherlock.
Moriarty.
Don't you guys watch Sherlock? He's like the biggest villain in Sherlock. He is Sherlock's villain.
Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes. Professor Moriarty is his nemesis.
No clue. No.
What?
I don't watch fucking Sherlock. The only Sherlock Holmes I ever watched was Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother. Have you ever seen that movie?
Oh yeah, Gene Wilder and
Marty
Freeman. Oh, is it Marty Freeman? Yeah, that's fucking fantastic.
You guys.
Marty Freeman. Yes.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Dom DeLuise is in it.
Dom DeLuise is great in Fats,
Dom DeLuise is always great. Dom DeLuise was
If
in
you-
90210 the other
My
day.
dad
If
met
you
Dom
haven't seen
DeLuise.
Sherlock Holmes' younger, smarter brother, you gotta watch it just for the stagecoach scene alone. Where
How about the shoe fighting the thing? The
yeah,
big shoe.
that's just the shoe with the hand, the big
Yes,
shoe with the big
I love
hand,
it.
and they're fighting on the stagecoach. It's fucking. And he gets knocked off. Oh, taxi!
Yes. Oh, taxi. Yeah, dude. Yes.
It's
It's awesome.
it's such an underrated comedy. I mean, it's so batshit. I think that was my mind loved it when I was a kid, but then I revisited it like I don't know, like 5+ years ago, and I said, man, this still holds up. It still makes me laugh. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's a gem. It's a hidden gem comedy. That one movie, Holy Moses. What's another one? Young Doctors in Love, which is finally getting a fucking.
Madeline Kahn. Is it
Madeline
Madeline
Kahn.
Kahn?
Oh, I love
Yeah,
Madeline.
she's
Kahn.
hot in that too. Oh, she's amazing.
She was always hot back then, man.
No, is she any relation to Genghis?
Yeah. Daughter.
He was related to Rathov, actually.
Rathov. Rathov and Genghis. It's a good family.
So check this. This is what bothers me about this movie. They could have solved a lot. And here's the thing. People are going to. It gets a lower rating than it should because people are MFing it because it's an Amityville movie. If this movie was just didn't carry the Amityville thing on it and was just presented as a movie, I think it would get a lot less hate. But they could have corrected that so easily. All they could have said was, hey, because this happened in real life at one point. The house was remodeled. They didn't want, because of all the terrible things that have happened here, the last owners changed the look of the house to avoid a flock of people or this or that or just, because.
And seagulls.
Yeah. And because they ran so far away, they had to set up a new house. So these motherfuckers, that's all they had to say. They go, well, the house, we did our best to cover it up and to cover up the story and to change the appearance of the house. That's all they had to say. If us three making our fucking movie when we make it, if we were going to make up Amityville movie, even the house didn't look like it, but it was structurally like it and the inside was like it, don't you think between the three of us, one of us would have the idea, hey, maybe we should address why the house looks different? And isn't that a plausible fucking reason?
I don't want to make it an Amityville. It's the same
I
old
know,
tropes.
I
I'm
don't.
tired of these ghost movies. I'm tired. It's the same thing. It's the blood in the water. It's the shaking of the cross.
The books falling off the shelf.
Yeah, like
The door slamming.
The better story is the mystery of why the priest was killed, who killed him, even though it's very easy to see because you only have a few characters and you could see one acting strange very quickly, so you know he's the killer. But the story behind why he's the killer is interesting. But then even stuff they explore, like the original people blamed for it, the original guy blamed for it, killing himself. Like, why didn't they explore that? Why didn't they have him haunting the house, the guy who hung himself with the dog? They had the dog show up, but they didn't have the guy who hung himself show up.
I don't get it. Why did the guy hang himself if he didn't kill him?
Because he was convicted of it. The cop even says he's the guy we arrested. We think we got the right guy or something.
He just
like
arrested him though. He wasn't. There was no trial or nothing.
Yeah, but he killed himself in jail. He was evidently convicted for it.
I thought the reveal was going to be that the real killer had this hung the guy and made it look like a suicide, so it would be more believable that he was the killer. Like, what I'm saying, shift all the blame on him and make sure that he's the one. While he killed himself, it must have been him. Why else would he? You know what I mean? So
No.
If
I don't
Debbie
get
didn't have the psychic ability, we would have gotten none of the story elements.
That's
Like,
another thing. Her
she's always
psychic
having just the dreams.
Yeah.
Or
and of course she's married to a psychotherapist, and all he says is write it down. It's a film of taking great liberties with convenience, and it's just, I don't know, it's lazy. It's lazy.
wow. I just don't understand.
But no,
reveal
the cop even says something like, "We think we got the right guy." At some point, he has a speech where he says, "We think we got the right guy." When he says that there wasn't a trial because the guy killed himself in jail, he hung himself, and that's why she has the vision of him hanging outside the house and stuff like that.
Oh man, I missed the reveal. I don't know why Kim Coates is the guy responsible for killing a priest.
Because
And
he was
why?
the priest's son.
What?
Yeah, he was the priest's son. The priest was a sinner who had sex and then abandoned the child.
See, I missed all of this. Literally, he was his son?
Yeah, literally.
Well, because I know he called him son in the fucking confessional.
No, then he screams at him, "Don't call me that."
I know
he's
that.
literally his son, but he abandoned him.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't get that out of it. See, again, I missed something completely out. I don't get this.
You just raised the movie up for Dave.
I mean, I hope I can. I mean, I'm coming in very low on it just because I find aspects of it to be interesting, but it's just, I don't know. At this point in most of the franchises, they're trying something new. Here it's like, oh, we had a haunted lamp, we had a haunted well, let's do a haunted confessional. Like, get away from the haunting. Make this a really dark drama horror. Because the story of the priest, it was kind of confusing. It was kind of confusing because you're getting a little bit of it. You're seeing Frank's character coming unraveled. But then we go to Debbie just walking around in a trance having visions for no reason. Like, leave that shit out of it. Just let it be a drama horror.
It seems like, yeah, the link to, like, I mean, it's a whole different story. It has nothing to do with Amityville. Amityville already has its lore. This is just something weirdly tacked on, almost like the Hellraiser sequels where we'll just make this Amityville Curse. Like, they could have taken that out and been its own movie and been fine, I think.
It could have just been the curse.
Yeah.
I think I can explain this. This is based on a book. The book was written first, The Amityville Curse. And I want to say that the basis of this book, the guy who wrote the book and his story, he's basically, I think the point he's trying to make in the book is that the whole land, that the surrounding area of Amityville, New York, is cursed. I think that's what he's saying. This is a cursed land. Many bad things have happened here. And this is just another story of something that's loosely related to other bad shit that's taken place in the area. That's what I take it as. Maybe it's not presented as that way. Again, maybe there should have been more exposition where somebody said that. These are just lines that could have been inserted in here that were left out.
They did allude to that. No, they did allude to that, but it just, they don't have it take place in that house if you can't get the house. Then take it place, but then have a character visit that house and say, like, what the fuck is, like, they're looking at it and it's happening over there or something like that, because it is Amityville. And not the house. So I guess you can argue that, but when they're trying to allude to the fact that it's the same house but it looks nothing alike, a big strike right out of the gate.
It's bad. Like, it's not as bad as Halloween 5. That was nothing close to the fucking thing, and the inside looked nothing like it. At least the interior looked like it. You know. But
see, I actually don't even have that hang up other than, okay, they made it a Victorian house. I don't care.
Terrible.
This is the iconic house.
I know.
You look at the Myers house, you're like, okay, it's the Myers house. I don't actually put that much. Okay, so be it. They changed it up. This is the Amityville house. Like, I mean, that's what you know from the series. It's like not having Freddy's glove in a fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
It's a bigger sin. I get you 100%. Yes, it's a huge sin for an Amityville movie. But that's what I'm saying. I wish they just could have. This movie could have been presented in a different. They didn't do that right. They should have either said this was not the same house. They should have been bold about it. They should have had a couple lines of dialogue in the movie. You're right, B. Less dreaming and more discussion. Maybe say the Amityville land is cursed. And maybe say this is not the same house and these people are moving here and whatever, and have a story about, maybe there could have been a better connection. Maybe the priest was an asshole because he was involved in the Amityville Part 1 or Part 2. Somehow directly or indirectly, and evil was cast upon him, and that's why he was fucking sinning. Yeah. Maybe do it the right. It's like as it was rushed. If you presented these ideas to the three of us, I believe you could sit down and write a fucking cohesive, good story.
Well, that's why I always come in low on these types of movies. We're literally sitting here for 10 minutes. We've just taken just a few basic ideas, nothing that anyone who's seen this film couldn't do, and made a better movie instantly just by saying, oh, less this, more that. And I mean, I know it's tough, filmmaking, and, there's budget constraints and stuff like that. And maybe the original vision was something else, but.
Or the book.
Or the book. But
I'd like to read the book now.
I thought the special effects were better than the other one. The lighting was better than the other one. This had more atmosphere than the other one. But the acting was 50-50. There were some parts that were passable, and some parts I was like, holy fuck, what the hell am I watching here? But it's just, it made the worst sin for me, or no house or no real house, and then just dreadfully paced, like just lethargic almost, and with nothing new really happening. You said you're on board for the first 2 acts. I'm like, we're just seeing the same thing, and then suddenly it switches gears and it gives you a big an ending. But
really,
it was
the kills
slow.
the kills are tame. The kills are very tame. I mean,
We
the
were
best
seeing
kill,
the
the best
same.
kill is the opening kill of the priest. Like, that's a pretty tense scene. That's like a real thriller type movie opening with that gun coming through and just blowing the priest away. That's very like 80s.
Yeah.
So how is the quality then
Yeah,
on Amazon? Because now I do feel a little bad that I didn't realize it was, because all the other ones were for rent on YouTube or whatever. I didn't even see this for rent for Amazon, so I didn't even bother. I just saw it was free on YouTube.
The quality was okay. Isn't this in that box set that just came out?
No, remember I pointed out a few times ago that how ironic is it that this movie is called the Amityville Curse, yet it's not featured in the Cursed collection. It's only the next 4 movies. It's the rest of the movies we're going to do. I think they call it the Cursed collection because they're talking about different cursed objects.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not the curse itself.
Yeah, a dollhouse, a mirror,
Whatever they are, those are our next 3 that we're doing. Correct.
Lamp.
I mean, maybe it's a stupid argument to say that I would give it a half point more to actually feature the Amityville house, but I really do think it's a necessary component in a fucking sequel to the. It just separates it even more so and makes you scratch your head of why did they just go a different route then? Because obviously it didn't benefit them to make it part of the Amityville franchise because it's the only one that's not on fucking DVD or any of these collections. So I mean, it might as well be the Amityville Shark House at this point. Or whatever. It just seems so bizarre. The only thing that it's got going for it is the fact it was 1990, so we might be more forgiving of it. But it doesn't even have the house. It's like a slap in the face. It's really stupid. Again, I don't have a lot more to say about it. I'm very surprised. Like I said, I didn't even know Marvin's fate. I forgot until you mentioned. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Frank clobbered him with like a. I don't know, like a crowbar or a fire stick thing.
Who's the baby?
But he was sleeping, right? He was sitting in the chair.
That was the other guy. That was the other guy who got attacked by the tarantula. He was already dead. He was just sitting on the couch, like already dead.
Okay, that's what.
Who's the baby?
I was gonna rewind. And I'm like, nah.
I think the baby is a picture of Frank when he was little.
Okay, so explain to me what happened in Frank's life. His father did bad things to him. Is what you're saying? He was a priest. He did bad things to him. He killed his father. Go ahead.
His father was the priest who knocked up his mother and then abandoned them.
Okay, so he killed him, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, his life was normal and has been normal until now. And now he's getting headaches and things like that because he's in the house. Is that what?
See, I honestly couldn't even tell you because he's evidently married and it seems like he's happy with his marriage. And the minute they go into that house, like he goes crazy, even though we're saying the house has nothing to do with it. It's the land. Like, I honestly don't know. It's a very poor film.
Okay, I don't think she's very poor. It's very poor, but either way, okay. Here's a couple things. First of all, I started writing a book when I was young, when I was a child on my typewriter, and I was in 7th grade, so this would be the 80s. Okay, so it was before this book was written and before this movie came out, and the title of it was The Amityville Curse. And I wrote this book. I maybe got a couple chapters in. I remember basing one of the characters. It was kind of set up like a new family moving in, and it was kind of going to be like a what do you call it? I was hitting some of the same beats as Amityville 2. Like the woman went down into the basement, the mother, and something happened to her, and she was hearing a voice, and somebody. It was kind of a ripoff.
That's literally just Amityville 2.
Yeah, it was kind of a ripoff of Amityville 2 in some ways, but I was only a couple chapters in. I was typing it, but that was the title. I came up with that title years before this ever happened. The Amityville Curse. That was going to be my first novel. I was like, fucking.
You might have come up with Amityville before the first one. You might have started writing this before the first one even came out.
I just thought it was funny that a movie called Amityville Curse came out years later, and that was the book I was writing. You know, didn't go anywhere, of course, like all my books, but so. I got some notes and some questions, real quick. Okay. All right. How come it's your? Oh, did you see that? Oh, it's obvious. I know. I picked up right away that it was Canadian. This had to be filmed in Canada, right? These people are
It
Canadian.
was. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Montreal.
because
Yeah.
no one had to tell me. Within 20 minutes, I heard two people say "out," so I knew it because I could tell Canadian accents right away. I'm okay. This is the Canadian film. I'm surprised you didn't bring that up sooner. But either way, so this is Canadian.
He doesn't want to
Embarrassed.
recognize it. Yeah, exactly.
No, that's true. So he only waves that flag when it's something great. Otherwise, any other time it's shame.
Or
He
Prom
doesn't
Night 4.
bring it up. Or Prom Night 4, right?
Prom Night 4 is a much better movie than this.
I will say this. Compared to part 3 and compared to part 4, this was a better musical score that tried at times to sound more like the first two movies. They took some of those same beats, and I liked the score. The aesthetics of the film were fine, and I liked the score. I think I'm finding myself a little bit. I'm gravitating towards newer looking movies now because everything else I'm watching is 1970. And anytime I seem to be watching a movie that is not from 1970, I'm enjoying the presentation. Because I guess I'm not saying I'm 1970'd out, but everything from 1970 has a look, and it's nice to, change the palette, if you will, for a little bit. So maybe I'm giving some things more credit than I should, but I guess I was okay with the way this movie looked and sounded. So how about that one scene though when he says, how does he not know it's his wife? There's 5 people in the house, or 6, whatever it was. They're all in one room, and the girl goes in the other room and she yells because she falls into the tile on the floor, and she screams, and the guy says, "Who's that?" And the guy says, "It's your wife, Marvin." How did he not know his wife screaming? What she sounded like.
The worst.
It's so funny.
Marvin looks like he's 50. She looked like she was 19. Like, and they're all talking about going to school together at one point. I'm like, what is this? What am I watching?
Well, I had a laugh out loud moment again. Literally, I started cracking up at that dog scene when it fucking tore through that screen and ran in the house. Come on, you don't think that shit's funny? That fucking dog.
No, it was funny, and how Marvin's so dismissive. It's over. Let's go have lunch.
I find humor in these things, So I don't know. I was okay with the story. How about when she goes, "What kind of wines do you have?" at that bar, and the lady says,
"Red and white."
Red and white, yeah.
We'll have Coors. He goes, "We'll have a pitcher of Coors Light." Why couldn't Marvin still order the red wine then? Like it was the funniest thing. You get all pissed off at him.
No, that's exactly
wine.
what Hot Fuzz did with Simon Pegg. When he's like, what do you have on your wine list? Red, white. I'll have a pint of lager, please.
Oh, they stole it from this. Hot
Yes.
Fuzz fucking ripped off Amityville Curse.
Yeah.
And Hot Fuzz
Hot
Fuzz is a fucking 10 out of 10, and this is not.
Well, you see, you can get away with it because this is such an obscure film that nobody would think that. But there's a good chance that Simon Pegg or somebody watched fucking this movie and thought that was a funny observation like I did, and then later on in life wrote a fucking movie and said, I'm gonna take that line, red and white, from Amityville Curse.
It was the only good thing in this movie.
Well, I'm naming a few good things. How about we get one of those famous "It's you" scenes with Mrs. Moriarty at the top of the stairs, and then she just gets pushed down and falls back.
Yeah, and her eye falls out.
And my shoes fell off. She fell down the stairs and her eye.
That would have been better.
It's so terrible that it's you. How would she know what he looks like as an adult? She wouldn't know. She recognized him. Like the only picture is that picture at the end of the baby.
She met him earlier when she came to the house. She met all of them. She knew who he was. She had already met the gentleman.
No, but she made it sound like it's you. It's the priest's illegitimate son. Like she knew, like she was covering up the secret. I think that's what they're going for. I think they're not. Oh, it's you. It's the guy from earlier. Because why would if she saw him walking up the stairs? Why would she be like concerned? Like, oh, it's you. Hey. Then it should be like,
look on his face. Maybe he had a look on his face that he was about to kill her, and he in fact did. You know, imagine if you walked into my house expecting to find me and some other people, and but no, not expecting to find us. You thought the house was empty. You came in to fucking whatever, change the kitty litter or some shit. You come in the house, you walk around, and then you come to the top of the stairs and you see me, and I have a crazy look in my eye. You'd say, "It's you."
I wouldn't say it's you. I'd be like, change your own fucking kitty litter since you're here.
Yeah, it's you.
And how about the Arnold Schwarzenegger connection? There's an Arnold Schwarzenegger connection in this movie. Does anyone know what it is? Okay.
As you say, it's not a tumor.
One character calls another character Schwarzenegger for some reason at the time.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
you remember that? The funny thing about that is that what's her name, the pretty girl, the one that's married to the girl that was in the tub, she actually made love to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Conan the Barbarian. She was that witch woman.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep, that was her.
whoops.
Hey, you all right there, buddy?
I am.
Holy fuck. I like the worm thing. The situation with the worm was cool, you know?
What worm?
I don't know. There's a worm. Was there worms in their eyes when they were dead or something? There's something up with worms. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's,
Worm.
All I know is my note says.
That was City of the Living Dead.
No, well, it says in my notes, like the worm thing.
Like,
Sometimes I take my notes and I throw
I think
them out
I
there.
think Kim did the worm. He was breakdancing, and I think he did the worm in the house.
Marvin
And
did
that's-
the worm,
yeah.
and his scarf fell
Yeah.
off. My scarf fell off.
I'm telling
only
you,
been
close
20
your eyes, and it's George Costanza.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Sorry. That's for you, Liz. Okay. So anyway, okay. Yeah, sometimes I do that, though. I take a note, and I think that when I throw it out there, you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. But obviously, it's something that only I noticed, the worm thing. What the fuck could it be? It's only been 24 hours since I watched it. You can't expect me to remember. What the
What
fuck?
the fuck could it be?
I'm looking at my notes too, and I don't see anything about a worm. I have this November 1st reference, it's 111, and that was
Yep.
again,
That was fine.
her piecing together, the backstory and this person who committed suicide, and her slowly getting revealed the vision of Frank being the killer, and the story piecing itself together as he's the illegitimate child of the priest. And I see good things in that, but man, it was just like you said, too much worm stuff, I guess.
Too much worm stuff? So wait a minute. So these bad things happened to him, and he led a normal life from then on. And then when he got into the house, something was awoken in him. Is that's basically what?
I'm thinking it's because he wound up in the house that was storing the confessional where he killed his father 12 years earlier.
Thank you. Well said. You got it.
Yeah.
Mystery. Thank you, Sherlock Holmes. Thank you.
Moriarty, please.
Younger, stupider brother.
Hey,
Sherlock Holmes.
he had an older brother, and he was very smart, Mycroft. I can't believe you guys don't like Sherlock Holmes. I fucking love Sherlock Holmes stuff.
Boring to me. It sounds boring. Like Doctor Who. Just sounds fucking like the most boring.
Doctor
Oh, I
Who-
like Doctor Who.
Doctor Who is
Sounds
fun,
boring.
and Sherlock Holmes is a fucking blast.
Ugh,
I didn't even watch those ones with, because Guy Ritchie directed them. I'm not a big Guy Ritchie fan, so I didn't even watch those new ones.
I'd rather watch Encyclopedia
Richards.
Brown. Remember Encyclopedia Brown? Those mysteries when we were kids. Do you guys know what I'm talking about or no? If
I
not,
do know what you're talking about because it had encyclopedia in the fucking title. If I want to do an encyclopedia, I'm thinking I'm doing schoolwork, so I'm not watching a show called Encyclopedia.
no, it's a mystery. It's like Sherlock Holmes, but for kids, and that was a good book series. Yeah, they solve mysteries in it and shit. It's good. Encyclopedia Brown. I highly recommend it.
I miss Brain Games. We've talked about this before. But
Yeah,
you remember
but
Brain-
there was only like 6 episodes. And
I know, but do you remember like when the deck of cards is all mixed up and the guy goes to like grab a card and an alligator comes out and bites his finger?
Yes.
And he's like, when's the next bus to Texas? Do you remember
I
that?
remember, yes.
I
I have
remember
no
the-
clue what the fuck you do.
I'm
about
telling
that.
you, like he's like putting the cards back together and an alligator bites and then he goes, when's the next bus to Texas? I gotta find it.
HBO was great, man. All the stuff they used to put on there. Remember Coming Attract? Remember they would have their own fucking show.
Yes.
And they would talk about what was going to be on HBO. It was like an HBO guide, but a video
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
And they would talk about it. Yeah, man. And they would have like the year in review at the end of the year, and it would just be like a show on HBO. God. All
You didn't
right,
have
so
that in Canada? No Canadian
oh,
HBO in review?
they had Canadian HBO, right? No? Or did you just have the Canadian?
It was called something different. Now it's HBO Canada for the last, I don't know, 10 years. But
Was
before
it
that,
really?
it was something different.
I
What
like
was
how
it?
you're
I remember. What was
aggressively
it called?
pointing at Christian right now.
No, but there was a name, a weird name to it, like Pizzazz or fucking. What the hell was it called?
It was First Choice, and then it was just the Movie
Pizzazz.
Network. It's still the Movie Network.
What's pizzazz?
I don't know.
It's like it's
It
called
was
something like
weird.
pizzazz. He's like, it was called First Choice.
All right. I don't know. All right, let's get on with it. See, what do you say here?
Hey, where are the worms? What are these worms?
You know what? I feel like I got to rejig my vote for the other one because I feel like they're no, but I'm not. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10. It's. I like the look of this way better than the last movie, but it's just so fucking dull that I can't recommend it to anybody. But that's it.
Okay. All right. I was honestly, for me, and I don't give this rating very much. Usually when I give this rating, it's because I respect the
8 out of
aesthetics.
10. 8 out of 5.
It's usually because I respect the aesthetics and don't like anything about the movie, but that's not the case here. This just seems the perfect rating for this movie for me in this case, and it's just a 5 for me. It's a 5 out of 10. It's just a fucking movie. It's not a passing grade. It's just there. See, it's for me, ratings are like, schoolwork. If you get a 50 on a test, you know what I mean? You fail. 65 and higher is passing, at least when I went to school.
To me, ratings
50
are
was the
like
passing mark.
ratings are like numbers you give out to justify how you feel about something.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. And honestly, it came up. I was at a 2 out of 10.
What?
I was at a
You
2
really
out of 10.
thought this movie, if I would have come in with a 3, you think this movie's that fucking bad? It's deserving of a fucking Hall of Lame? It's that bad?
I think it's a shit fucking movie.
Wow.
I think they should have known better by the 5th film with Amityville in it to change some things up. And the few things they
Other
do
than
change.
the house.
Look at now,
Yeah,
though.
other than
Look at the movies now. Right, other than the house. I wonder what the fuck Amityville Poltergeist looks like now, or the other Amityville that just came out, or Amityville fucking Clown House, or these movies that come out in the 2018s and up. Watch them, and they're gonna be fucking toilet.
They're fucking zeros. They're fucking zeros. The fact that people can attach Amityville to their movie now as a cheap way of getting free marketing, I think it's a terrible idea. They think it's a popular thing to do. Like,
hello?
Yeah, it's me.
Hey, what are you doing?
The Francesca says I'm going to tell you stop by about 12 o'clock for about 20 minutes.
No, I'm recording the podcast, and I'll still be probably on at 12 o'clock and taking care of some things, so I won't be there exactly at 12, a little bit after, So
12:30?
Yeah, something like that, I guess. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, because I want to give her
Maestro
some money.
Fresh
I want
West.
to give her some money for her school clothes,
Oh, well, that time is coming, yes, yeah. So what are you
Well, I
doing?
got it,
What are you doing?
No, I'm just sitting here. I'm going to stop by your house there, then I'm going to take a ride to the casino because they send me a $25 free play.
Really? Don't get sucked into that gimmick. $25 get you in the door.
All I'm going to do is I'm going to put the $25. I'm going to put $25 of my money, and when that's gone, I'm gone.
That's the way to do it.
I've been there quite a while.
I know. It's been a couple years, no? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go today. They said we haven't seen you for a while. August 1st, $25 free slot play, and I'll add $25. What could I lose? $25.
That's it. What are you gonna do? Yeah.
And if I happen to get up 100, you can color me gone.
Yeah. You better be gone. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, she had a good. What time are you going over your mother's? I know you're going over there. She told me.
I think like 5 or something. Dinner time.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be there around 12:30. I got a couple of things to do.
So,
I got to buy some of that incense. What do you call it? That stuff you burn?
Yeah, it's incense. You mean the stuff I like in particular?
Firewood?
What do you call it? Is it called incense?
Yeah, it's incense. There's incense sticks. There's incense.
Incense,
gold.
not incest.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the incense sticks.
Yeah. Get the nag. Get the nag champa. You know nag champa? That's the one to get.
How do you say it?
Nagchampa. That's the best one to get. Nag Champa.
Get the Fresh West.
All right, we'll see.
So
I'm gonna head up there in a while. I gotta go over here. I'm buying the cigars over here now because I find it a little cheaper. I found this place I can buy cigars that I like for like $4 a cigar.
yeah.
So if I get 7 of them, it costs me $28 a week. If I go out there, I'm gonna spend Lord knows $8, $56, and it's better than spending $30, right?
That's for sure. You got that right. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so I'll see you about 12:30. I ain't gonna stay long.
I wanted to ask you about something. Did you know? Were you around when that Amityville horror thing happened in Amityville, New York?
No, I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that happening? Some people being killed at a house and the guy killed his family?
Yeah, what year was it?
It was in the 70s. That's why I'm asking if you remember it. And it's not.
I don't remember it at all.
Oh, okay. All right. So there was no like national story and everything else. It wasn't
No,
like
I don't know. If it was, I wasn't paying attention to it at that time.
Okay.
I was too busy being a gangster at that time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, anyway,
Living the life.
Yeah. She had a good time. Yeah, Francesca. She told me they went here, they went there. You know.
No, they did it all. They did Florida action. Yeah, they had fun. Water slides, water parks, this, that, boats.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me. Good for her.
Yeah. So
Good for her.
there's something else I wanted to ask. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What do you know about that? Like the real life.
You know what I know about it? Nothing. All I know is about the name of it. It said Texas Chain. I don't follow that stuff, you know.
Well, because it was based on reality in some ways. I didn't know if you knew about the real story. So I'm trying to ask someone that was around.
You know
at
what
the
the
time.
real story is? You know, they ever see they put it on TV based on a true story?
Yeah.
You know what it's based on? The guy's name was Frank. That's what it's based on.
Yeah.
They have to hype all that shit up to get people to watch it. Most of these murders are boring.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so they got to do this. They want to do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and it is what it is.
Ask him about
Yeah,
the snake movies.
I'll get there about 12:30, and I'm only going to stay a half hour.
Right. Well, we
Just
might
wanna
be
get her started.
maybe we'll watch those snake movies. Remember those snake movies I used to make when I was young?
What snake movies?
Remember you were in a couple. I think you killed a snake in
Oh,
one.
you
too.
mean the ones you made? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You remember those snake movies?
Yes, I do.
Do you
I
remember-
Dave, you can't do that.
Yes.
Do the snake at Leon.
Yeah, I
You
did.
can't do that.
You killed a snake once too. You took a not a pitchfork, a pickaxe, and you killed a snake. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that stuff.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? 40 years ago?
It was quite a bit. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was some time. Okay. Well,
And that's about, I'll see you about 12:30. I'm only going to stay for about a half hour.
yeah, we'll do our thing. Have a cup of coffee and
All right. So on and so. You got the Hortons for me?
We'll get the Hortons. I got it. Yeah, I got it here to cook at home. Sure. Yeah, same as always.
Okay, all right.
Okay, hey,
I'll
Dad,
see
hold
you.
on. One more question. What's better, Munchkins or Timbits?
I don't know. I never had either one of them.
What? Those little round donuts?
I don't know what they are. I don't eat donuts. I haven't ate donuts in years.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no answer then. I'm just curious. Just
The
there's
only
a hot
thing I
debate.
have is maybe a small slice of a birthday cake. That's about it.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I
Father's
don't
Day?
eat sweets at all. I don't need them.
Okay. Well, no, I know. I just think maybe historically you had Munchkins and donuts. Or
Munchkins.
Timbits.
What do you call them? Munchkins or Timbits?
Yep. Munchkins versus Timbits. It's a hot debate going on right now. So,
Well, you can color me in the middle.
okay, in the middle. Sounds good.
All right.
I'll talk
see
to
you
you.
about 12:30.
All right, Dad. Okay. All right. Bye bye. All right. I couldn't help myself when he calls.
That's funny.
You gotta
That's funny.
color me in the middle.
Color me. Yeah, you use color me a lot. I like that.
Is there a
He's
Frank
sharp,
in the
though.
Texas
He's
Chainsaw
sharp.
Massacre?
I know you ask him all this stuff, like, and he's like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. But he remembers everything he needs to remember. He's like, oh, those movies you were in. Yeah, the snakes. What was that, 40? He remembers being a gangster. It's like, I never had a munchkin, though.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
So anyway, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just think that the Amityville cash grab, I feel like it hurts. Like, all these new films being made. Like, why are they doing that? Like, I know, like, people will
They
say,
can.
oh, yeah, you can. But it
Doesn't
automatically
mean
paints you. It automatically paints you into a corner. No movie is ever going to be good like that.
You're right.
Is it
but it
because
does get into
Amityville
a
is
store.
a city? Is that the reason they can't copyright the name? Like, what
Correct.
was the reasoning why they can't protect it? Is it because it's an
That's
actual
it.
city?
Because of
Yeah,
this
you can
movie.
name
Because of
something after a city.
Kim Coates. It's because of Marvin and all the scarves he wore in this movie.
Marvin Scarfins. Yeah. He had
So
style.
we could actually make a movie called the Poughkeepsie Recordings
Why
and
not?
try to ape off. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Scarfin Marvin.
Scarfin Marvin. Yeah, there you go. Scarfin
Yeah.
Marvin. Yeah, instead of
Scarfin
starving.
Marvin.
Yeah, that's better than my joke. Scarfin. Yeah, he had style. I think he did always wear a scarf because when that lady painted a picture of him, he had a scarf on. You know, he's kind of like a version of Otho from Beetlejuice. You know that guy in Beetlejuice?
Oh
Otho?
yeah, I love Otho.
It's one of those type of cats. You know, just he's a little artsy, a little odd. You know,
Strange
anyway.
film. Strange film.
Strange days indeed. Yep. Okay, well, I guess that's all we can do there. What's left? What's left?
11 out of 30.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna add everything up at the end. Maybe not even at the end of this episode, maybe, but so far it's not that big a difference. I'm really curious to know how I'm gonna come in with this stuff. I don't know. Maybe
I am
down.
shocked. Fuck.
I don't know. It doesn't seem that bad to me. It's I don't know. It's
I don't
weird.
know if I'm jaded from just years of reviewing movies, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm running out of things to say about films, especially when they just kind of fall like in that middle category, whether it's that 5 to 6 or that 3, 4 to 5 area. Like it's just like I don't know.
Yet we can still do it. Yet we still had this long conversation we had about it. So
Yeah.
it's natural conversation. There's maybe a
It
lot
is.
to say, but once you get going and different interpretations of things, and of course, I like to take my little notes about things that are funny. That dog scene was fucking funny, man. Right through the screen.
But at the end of the day, honestly, I will probably never watch this film again. Never.
No, the thing is, you're not supposed to unless you're doing a marathon of Amityville films.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch the Hellraiser sequels after three. Fuck, even after 2, really, I think at this point, unless I'm doing them all to do a franchise watch because I'm in the mood to do it. I'm not just going to sit back one day and watch fucking Hellraiser or Hellseeker just to do it. I am looking forward to watching it for a second time next summer when we do it.
I kind of like Hellseeker.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I can't imagine myself just randomly just watching a sequel past a 2 or 3 in a franchise unless it's a beloved franchise to me. It's something that I could.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not going to watch Paranormal Activity. Well, I can't say that. I was going to say I can't just watch 3 anytime. I think I could. But I don't know. It's just weird. Some movies I don't know. I would rather do it as it's fun to watch like Saw. Do you just randomly sit down and watch Saw 5 or 6? Probably not. No, we like them. But don't you think that you only watch it when you watch the franchises? Like you sit down.
I actually have done 4 and 5 because I'm always apologist for those two because that's where people seem to drop off, and I have done it. I definitely have done it. Yeah, Marco's fucking shitting his pants right now.
Yeah, the Hoffman years, the Hoffman cut. Get somebody to make the Hoffman cut where they put all of the Hoffman films together as one. What's going on with this? Like, listen, I don't want to be mean and nasty, but what's with everybody I'm seeing posting? They're taking movies now and they're putting them together and they're creating their own fucking cuts. What is this? You can't put one disc in, then put the other disc in?
People are making money this way. That's the answer is money. Some people are splicing things together and making a cut and and selling it and trying to make a buck. And people are paying for it.
Well, that's called illegal.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
It is. It's happening a lot now.
I thought they were doing it as fan cuts and not making money from it, just doing it because they love the movies. Kind of like instead of a podcast, that's what they're doing. But if they're starting to charge people for it, then that's a little weird because it's copyright material. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm the editor of this." Now you're not. You've made an edit of it, but of copyright footage. I mean, I don't get that.
They should torrent it. What they should do is they should make it that way.
Jack torrent?
They should Jack torrent it and leak it onto a Jack torrent site. Correct.
This again?
Yet it's still illegal. Yet they're not charging people. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing something, and they're not, like, look at Jason Lloyd paid $25 for the feast cut 1, 2, and 3 together or some shit like that. It's one continuous movie.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. I didn't know about this. But yeah, it's like nothing against Jason Lloyd, but that's fucking stupid. You know what I would do? And I like the Feast movies. I'd watch Feast 1, I'd take it out, I'd put Feast 2 in, I'd take it out, then I'd put Feast 3 in. Like, why does everyone need to like condense everything down into like one thing?
Well, because nobody wants. It's like the streaming culture, just like my friend did, like Damien said yesterday. And here's the thing: he has high tech stuff, and he has 4K. This, like he said that the 4K stuff that he watches on his Plex, it drains. Anyway, long story short, he still likes quality, but for him, basically, he said this: I would rather just have it here and press a button instead of going to get the disc, and not just going to get the disc, having the discs, sprayed about your house. Sprued, whatever the fucking word is. Strewed. What's the word I'm thinking of? Strewn?
Splayed? Strewn.
Strewn about my house. Okay. Weird, isn't it? What a word. So anyway,
I've gone that route too. I liked everything digital. I liked it all at my fingertips and whatever. Then I started collecting again. But there's something about like, I'm like, oh, I got to go down and grab the disc and everything else, whereas I can grab it there. I'm now trying to watch my physical copies and actually pop them in. I got Curtains, that new House in Sorority Row, The Fly, and for my birthday, there's 2 more coming in the mail. They said, Carrie said, for whatever reason, they said they're going to take like a couple of weeks to get to you.
What kind of
popcorn and another one?
What kind of curtains?
Oh, they match my shorts.
Yeah.
Fucking choke the fucking
meat curtains.
The Jesus.
Meat curtains. I like Curtains. I think Curtains is underrated.
It's too boring to me, but I will watch it again.
No, I don't mind that one. That one's not boring. This was boring.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
See, that's what's weird. This doesn't bore me, yet fucking Just Before Dawn and Curtains does. Isn't that weird?
Neither of those two do.
Yeah.
I'm starting to bring anything that I like a 6 or a 6.5 and above. I'm collecting because I got ragged on because people are like, oh, the slasher movies that you shit on versus the ones that you talk up. I've been ragged on like not a lot, but here and there. And I'm like, but I still like them. I'll still watch, like House of Sorority Row and Slumber Party Massacre. I'll still watch them. I got Slumber Party Massacre.
I'm still watching
Intruder,
Intruder, even though
I love Slumber Party.
Even though I only give Intruder a 6.
No, you guys gave Slumber Party a higher rating than me. I think I came in 6.5. People shit on me for that, or that my like for a lot of people like Just Before Dawn. I'm the one that comes in. House and Sorority Row, I've come in at 6.5. But I still watch it. I still want to give them a chance. I still enjoy my time with it.
They're slashers. You love slashers, same as I do. There's something about the aesthetic. There's something about the feel of a particularly an 80s slasher. It's comfort food. I say it all the time. And the thing is, I'm weird because I keep my mouth shut, but I'm like, what is it about me? How come everybody seems to love these movies that I think are so bad and goofy, like the next one, like Slumber Party Massacre 2? With the fucking guy and the guitar and like a movie like Return of the Living Dead.
I like that too.
I wish I liked them. They just seem so poor to me. They seem like bad, almost like a slap in the face of the horror genre. I know I'm taking it way too seriously. I can't help it that those are my feelings. I keep my mouth shut, but I'm like, everybody loves these movies. I feel like I'm over here missing the boat on something great, but I can't help it. I watch these movies. I'm like, what the fuck? Especially when you compare them to what came before. Like Slumber Party, the original, it's just a good slasher. Slumber Party 2, it's fucking goofball shit. I guess, I don't know.
It's very strange, Slumber Party. I enjoy it for what it is, but it is very strange after what they did with Part 1.
Well, yeah.
It is strange. It's odd. It's odd.
It's the Freddy effect.
Yeah.
It really is. And listen, it is. It's the Freddy effect. Everything got fucking goofy, and I think it was a bad time for horror. And that's why what's happening now, I said it makes perfect sense. 2020 wasn't as strong. 2021, although B-City's coming around more, I don't hear a lot of really great talk about a lot of great things coming out in 2021. I hear little things here, and oh, you should check this one out. Oh, you should check this out. But it doesn't seem like 2015 to 2019, which I thought was complete fucking peaks. But when you think about the 80s, it petered out too. 80 to 85. You know what I mean? No, 80 to 85 or whatever was grand. Some people say it ended even before that, but then the late 80s, a lot of it there's still good stuff coming out. There was a jambalaya of all type of different horror, which was great, but there was a lot of comedy put into it. Even when we talk about Chainsaw, the remake, they were still kind of doing that. I don't know. Something's going on in this fucking house.
Sounds like when someone's taking a shower and this thing goes.
Hopefully,
I don't disagree. I disagree with 2020. I look at my list for 2020 and I'm like, holy shit, I wish this year was like that. I look at these movies.
Last year
when I look at these movies and I'm looking at the cover on the letterbox, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, that came out. Like, 2020 was still fucking solid to me. This year, when I look at what I've got, I'm definitely less enthusiastic for sure.
2020, I'm not saying was a bad year. I just think that I think I said it on a year-end show even. Just like it was a good year, a great year even. I just don't think it had the pizzazz of 15 to 19 as much.
I don't know.
It was still good. Pizzazz is my word today. No, but I'm not knocking it. 2020 for horror was still really
it was a might peaked time.
but I mean, don't be surprised if things start going shittier now. This always happens. No trend. Nothing just comes on and stays great forever. Just like a wrestling, you had the 80s boom and then you had the late 90s boom. But in between, you have a lot of shit, and then after you have a lot of shit. Wouldn't it be wonderful if horror was always fucking peaking for 20 straight years? Yes, but I'm almost expecting it to fall off now at this point. And I hope I'm wrong, but
it goes through phases. It always does, but if it does fall off, that usually means that it's a great wave is coming again. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think right now we're just the COVID effect, as we all know, and that should change. But
right, hopefully, but again, we don't know. And if it doesn't happen, I'm grateful for what we've had. I'm grateful for the
break up.
No.
What happened?
I thought I broke up. No, Brandon just made it so he just says whatever he said, and I thought I broke up.
Oh, I don't know. But I do know this. Trailers.
Oh my God.
A lot of people have come out and said, and I put that poll up, and I forgot to say this last show. I'm just saying. A lot of people have said, I don't watch them, and enough people had said that they didn't watch them specifically because I showed them the way. Not to watch them. And now other people have come on my personal page, on my regular profile, and made posts recently in the other group saying, tagging me, saying thank you, or saying whatever. I'm taking his approach and not watching it. So I'm happy to say that. But
you have created something. You've created a world of fucking lunatics here.
Brandon's response to everything is what makes me. I love it. I'm watching it 50 times over.
And I hope all you non-trailer watchers hate the film.
Well, why? Be happy for them. So what if they have a different life? It's like politics. This guy votes this one. This guy. Who cares if they don't want to watch trailers?
No.
Why?
Non-trailer watchers are like extreme left or extreme right.
Yeah, but they're not.
They've gone too far.
Have I gone too far? Just because I don't watch
too far. You're not watching trailers. You don't even know what you're going into.
I don't even talk about it.
I don't even.
No, I'm saying.
I won't even ask for the name of the movie. I just give me one for, and I point to the board. I won't even say. You have to say it.
I'm just saying. People have
spelled the name for me.
I'm happy about it. But people keep bringing it up like it's when someone does bring it up like it's a bad thing. So what if they don't want to watch them? If they want to announce that they're happy that they're not doing it one time, fine. They're only doing it then. They're like, hey, you know what? I like what you're doing, Dave. I'm going to start doing it too. What's wrong with that? Let them be happy. But it's like the new bagged milk thing. I wasn't saying anything about bagged milk. Other people were. But people are fucking pointing the finger. I'm not doing shit. I'm just sitting here minding my own. You know what I mean? The bagged milk thing was coming up before we even went Patreon exclusive. This was a topic like fucking 3 years ago. People were putting up pictures in our thing about it and making jokes. Then all of a sudden it got hot again. I don't know why. Not because of me.
Got hot again because they left it out of the fridge.
Thing.
You left it out of the trailer. Got hot again.
The trailer thing got hot because of Jamie's post that we started talking about it here, and next thing, and because of that, I guess that Halloween thing, and all of a sudden. It's a hot topic now. It doesn't really have to be.
I would rather spend my day drinking a 4-liter bag of milk watching trailers than sitting in an empty room with no trailers playing with a carton of milk. And I know Christian's going to be right there with me. We're going to have a good time. And Dave and fucking Eric Webster and a few other psychopaths.
Yeah. It's more than a few. People have figured it out. I was right.
Listen, I look, for all that it enrages me and makes me angry in my soul, it doesn't really bother me that much.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, at the end of the day, like I get it with like films like Halloween, films like Candyman, films like you're gonna go see them anyway. But like the new M. Night Shyamalan film,
I don't want to know.
Don't you want to know what it's about before you go see it? Like, what is
the Shyamalan? I've seen every Shyamalan movie at the theaters for the longer time. I'm just not gonna see this one. Why would I just not see it? The only way I wouldn't see it.
Maybe you don't feel like spending $12 for a ticket because maybe it just doesn't look like it's up your alley, and you're like, you know what? I'll wait till it's a rental.
I don't spend that kind of money, and when I do, again, check this out, B. We only go so much, and when me and my wife and my daughter go, it's something to do on a Saturday for fun, or it's an outing. It's a place for us to go. I don't do it fucking 3 times a week like JP and Carly and people like that. I mean, God bless them, that they're enjoying themselves. But it's more special to me, than when you do it too much. Just my one man's opinion. It's a burnout thing. It's not as special as it was. You can't have pizza fucking 5 days a week. But if you have pizza twice a month, it's exciting when you get it. Hey, let's get a pizza tonight. You know what I mean? Same thing. So if you do it all the time, for me, that's special. It's fun to go as a family and go see a movie. So what do I want to see? Probably a horror movie. You know what I mean? So if I can get and they like Shyamalan too. So maybe next weekend we'll go see Old. It's not going to cost us much. It's going to cost me fucking $20-$30 total. Knock on wood, they don't go crazy with fucking food or something. But I mean, that's why I go. Why am I not going to? The only way I wouldn't see Old is if every person I spoke to, every horror fan, everybody said absolute pile of trash. Don't bother.
But then you go watch the trailer and be like, you know what? This looks good. I'm going to go see it
because
anyway.
Trailers are fucking deceiving. How many times have you seen people watch a trailer and then they get mad about it? Oh my God, the trailer made it look like this. It was this. This is people get mad about it. They go, oh, and then I've heard this many times. Oh, they saved all the best parts for the trailer. I've heard that too.
Well, that's a marketing play. You're getting the best stuff in the trailer, but the trailers, that's what gets me excited. Like when I saw the trailer for Halloween Kills, when I saw the trailer for Candyman, I'm excited to now go see both in the theaters. If I didn't watch a trailer for Halloween, I probably wouldn't go see it in the theaters just because I didn't like 18 at all.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And I don't need to be excited because of the trailer. If I'm excited for something, it's because of a different reason. Like a Star Wars movie, I'm naturally excited to see because it's Star Wars. There's nothing. I don't like to go into a movie with expectations of excitement because you set yourself up for a letdown. And you can't help it if it's a sequel or something or part of a franchise. That's different. I'd rather go in with knowing as little knowledge as possible, and then if something blows me away, I come out of that place fucking beaming. Again, that's me. I don't care if you watch them or if you don't.
Do you ever go into a bookstore and just grab a random book off the shelf because you don't even want to read the jacket? See what it's about? No, because that would be lunacy.
That's a commitment. A book is a bigger commitment.
A book is just subtitles without the picture.
Well, we don't talk about books. If we were talking about books,
we are reviewing books next week.
If our community was horror novels instead of fucking horror
novels,
movies, it would be the same thing. Don't you think there's communities like that? Fiction, and they come out and they talk about books, and they go, oh, did you get the new book by so-and-so? And you would have some knowledge going in. It's the same type of thing, except for there are no trailers for books. You're right. There's a description. You look at the jacket.
Oh, there are now.
Are there really?
That's a new thing. Even Carrie wants me to do like a trailer for her book.
Really?
It's become a thing now, yeah. Like, because, I mean, again, you're essentially kinda or another marketing strategy. Hey, here's my book, and you do like a visual sort of representation of what like the book could be, whether it's simply just the cover with like, blurbs about it, or whether you make a faux trailer as if you're going to go see a movie. It's become a thing now. It's fairly new because it's a lot of promotion for indie authors and whatnot.
You know what we should do? We should walk out of a theater, my wife and I, with a copy of the book and have a microphone like in our face. You know how they interview people coming out of the movie, or they used to, and they be talking about it, and we should be walking out, and then we can say our thoughts that way. Oh, I went in not knowing this and this. Oh, man, what an experience, or something like that. It's tongue in cheek, but you know what I mean? But it's a different marketing strategy.
Yeah.
They should just have people walking out of a movie theater, bitching and complaining, be like, I should have watched the trailer.
That's why the Paranormal Activity trailers were fantastic until they got to like part 4, and you're like, okay, enough's enough. But that first marketing strategy of showing the reaction of the audience, brilliant.
I'm sorry. He's calling again. I gotta see what's the matter. Something might be wrong.
Yeah.
You okay? What's up?
No, what kind of incense did you tell me to get? What was the name of it?
Nag Champa. Nagchampa. Smell it and see if you like it. Smell it though. Make sure you like it. That's just my preference.
That's with an M, not an F.
It's a variety, garnish, classic. I don't see that here. Strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, cinnamon, coconut, rose, jasmine.
Yeah, smell them.
Amber.
Make up your own choice. You know what I mean? How about sandalwood? Sandalwood's okay.
Sandalwood? Did I mention sandalwood?
I don't know, but those are my recommendations. Smell them. If you don't like the smell.
Sandalwood. Okay. They got it right here. Sandalwood. I'll try it.
Well, smell it first. Smell it first. Okay?
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See?
Smells like a dirty hippie sandalwood. Do they have the scent of trailer? I won't even smell the scent of trailers.
I was gonna say that. It's like trailers. I go smell it first. Watch the trailer in this case, because you're gonna commit.
No, Dave, you can't. You walk into Yankee Candle, you're fucking just buying a can. You're not allowed to smell. No, that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler for what it's gonna smell like when you burn it. You gotta be surprised when you burn it.
It's a bigger commitment, though.
A candle is a bigger commitment.
Yeah, you know how long a candle burns for? You're gonna burn that thing fucking a dozen times in your life when you're burning candles, right? And on top of it,
all I know is I'd like to burn the non-trailer watchers.
Then you gotta return.
Can I buy that in incense? The non-trailer watchers burnt up smell.
It smells like asshole.
This smells pretentious.
Yeah.
Here's the funniest thing about me. I never watch bad movies. This is the fucked up. I'm the guy that does not want to spend time with bad movies more than anybody else in the world, because I say time is precious. I only want to watch good things that I know are going to be, and I still somehow magically obtain this without even watching trailers. So who are you to say?
I think you secretly hate movies, and you're just like, you know what? 6 out of 10. This is a 1 out of 10, but I'm giving it a 6.5.
I can never live with myself if I lied about shit like I cannot.
I
couldn't be that type of person. I have to be true blue in every way I can. I'm a very open book. No, if I watch a movie, and I've said it, I've rated some movies bad that were bad, and I'll tell you, I was wrong on this one. I watched it and it sucked. But using my method, see, you would think that I get
precious.
That's Dave's time. Dave's time is precious.
Rest in peace, Bismarcky, by the way. Oh, it's been a minute.
Precious reminded you of Bismarcky.
Just when I saw it real quick, I thought it was a picture of
Like, is that Bismarcky or is that Precious?
And the Magnificent. Here's something that nobody knows. You hear Bismarcky every time you see a commercial from Arby's, and you don't even fucking know it. And I've only seen that commercial once on Hulu or someplace. You guys know I don't see commercials either, but I know this commercial is popular. It's an Arby's commercial, and they're on all the time. I'm guessing because I hear people talk about them. There's that guy in that.
There's a new roast beef sandwich. They spoiled it for me.
But you know what I'm
Arby's. You got what I need.
No, you know there's that okay. Does this thing still exist? There's a commercial that goes boom, 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 boom. We've got the meats or something like that. And it's the guy with the deep voice, Arby's. Okay, right when that part starts, there's a little noise in the background that goes ah. Okay, that noise is fucking Bismarcky on an earlier track of one of his songs, and he goes I am the Magnificent, and he do the beatbox thing. But that little noise is fucking Bismarcky. And I heard that once and I knew what it was. I'm like, people all over the fucking country are hearing Bismarcky on this commercial all the time and don't even know it.
Did you know Biz Markie was a big trailer watcher?
I'm all done with trailers. Be
Oh.
happy for me. I'm happy for you. That's it. At the end of the day, I'm not
You're
bothered
happy.
whether I watch them or not.
You're bothering me.
I'm happy when people come around and say, "Hey, Dave, I'm subscribing to your methods now." I'm like,
Yeah, that's bothering me more than
Why?
you not watching
You should
trailers.
be
Just
my
I don't
friend.
know. People
You should be
joining the
happy
cult
when
of
people are-
I don't know. People
Think for
joining the cult.
yourselves.
You should be happy. People are giving me props for something. Why is that so bad?
No, you deserve props, just not
I'd be
for
happy for you.
no.
Just
no,
not
If
followers.
you came around and said, "Hey, B, I'm doing something that I don't know what you do that's unusual," but I mean, they could say,
Nothing.
"B, because of
It's
you,
pretty
because of you, I'm now living my life this way, and
Exist.
it's made me happier." Or something.
because of you, I don't exist.
I've created nothing.
I've created nothing.
We got to do this fucking movie. No, holy cow.
We do.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
do.
Let's
What I'm
do
looking
it.
forward to talking about.
I
Because
didn't watch.
Brandon
I didn't
mentioned
watch
it was boring.
It is boring. It is
I've
boring.
been
It's
saying
generic.
that for a long time.
It's boring. We'll get into it. It's not bad, but it's boring.
The middle
If
is
that makes
boring.
sense. The Texas Chainsaw
No,
Massacre.
there's one. There's. Sorry. Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. After picking up a traumatized young hitchhiker, 5 friends find themselves stalked and hunted by a deformed chainsaw-wielding loon and his family of equally psychotic killers. Psychopathic killers. It says loon.
Loon. That's great. Loon.
So I think we've all given the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to go through all of them, but like I thought this was a fantastic remake.
Most people, I think, feel that
It's
way.
not the same movie. It's not the same movie, and I don't put it in the same caliber. But I thoroughly enjoy this movie. Except I agree. There's one scene where they're waiting for the sheriff, and they're going to the house, and then they're coming back again. It seems like I've said this. I think when we talked in passing about the series before, there's too much back to the house and back again, and I don't know why they couldn't blend it somehow. Something happens where it feels a little repetitious, and it should kick into the second act a little faster or something, and that's my only sort of quibble. But visually, amazing, great acting, gory, and Leatherface is fucking scary. So I think they check off a lot of things in this.
Leatherface is okay. I don't think it's that scary. I don't think it looks that great. I think it looks a little too washed out intentionally, and I feel like
it's of
the
its
gore.
time.
I feel like it is of that time,
Yes.
those early 2000s, and I think
It
the
washed
gore
out.
suffers because of that. The acting, I agree with you. A lot of, I mean, everybody in this film is recognizable and are good actors. It's just, I feel like everyone's just playing like a generic character.
Well,
Like I don't feel like anybody stands out. I know everyone loves R. Lee Ermey in this as the sheriff.
oh, Fang. Yeah,
I just
he
Like,
does
it's
stand out.
the wrong movie for him.
He stands out in Full Metal Jacket. Like to me, this he's just a crazy sheriff. Like I don't know, I don't know. I wasn't
love
into
him in
it.
the next
Oh
movie.
man,
That's the funny
he's
thing.
got both. I'm with you, Dave. Sorry for cutting you off there, but I'm with you.
No,
I love him at both, but
I love him in the next one. In this one, it seemed going into this, if I'm watching a horror movie, particularly a movie like this that's set up like a slasher, that's exactly what it's set up like. You got 5 kids driving across, doing their thing. They're going to stumble upon some place, and there's some weird shit happening. This, it's set up like a slasher movie, but then they have all that stuff in the middle with R. Lee Ermey that turns it into like, it would be really good dialogue and a really good situation in like a Quentin Tarantino movie. That's where I think it would belong. This type of stuff happening, the threats of some guy with a gun, and what's going to happen, and this and that. I think it would fit in there. I don't like it in a slasher movie. I think it's too awkward of a turn, and it's not. Maybe it's just my particular taste. So be it. I would rather it not be there. I would rather this movie be 15 minutes shorter, cut out the back and forth like you said, and maybe you can still have the R. Lee Ermey character do some things, but maybe a little bit less of it. Half of it maybe not there. I think you'd have a better movie. That's my opening thing.
I mean, I don't get when people I get the aesthetic, but Marcus Nispel, I believe, is the director, and the cinematographer he uses here and in Friday the 13th. People shit on both. Both these movies look great to me. They, again, maybe a sign of their times, but I think they look the production value looks amazing, and I'm on board. And it's funny, we actually do get to see Leatherface's face in this movie. And
Yeah.
I maybe have references on
Better
the
or
show
worse?
before. I remember reading an article in Fangoria or Gorzone that just said, "Do we see Leatherface's face in part 3, I believe?" And they said, "No, we're going to save that for the 5th movie." And I remember reading that. And here we are, and it's the 5th fucking movie, and they show his face. And I'm sure that that's not from that article, but it's just one of those weird coincidences that I
Wow.
remember reading. And by God, they show his face in that. And I like the fact that he puts on the boyfriend's face after. I think that makes it even a little bit more intense. This movie, when we watched it back, I watched it with my wife when we had first gotten married, I think, and this made her a vegetarian for like a year. Something just threw her off in this movie.
Yeah,
And I
the
remember
fucking-
being
the pig deli with the
deli?
flies and
Yeah,
everything.
ew.
Oh God,
Right.
yeah, that could make you.
this made her. She was like turned off of meat for a long time. I kid you not. And I mean, the power of a movie like that to do that. You've
Wow.
got to give it some credit. It was this, and then there was actually another movie that was a drama or a documentary, sorry, of something, some llama, some
drama
farm
llama?
thing.
Baby llama
Drama
drama.
llama.
What the hell? Nice.
I don't know, the sleepy llamas. I can't remember the title, but there was another movie that did the exact same thing to her, and I'm like, holy shit.
Oh,
I look at it,
Llamageddon.
it's fun.
Llamageddon.
Really? Llamageddon.
There is a film called Llamageddon.
See?
Oh, I didn't know there was.
Is it a horror movie? I hope not.
No, I'll have to look it up. But
Dolly?
no, it's like the crying or the whispering of the llamas, something like that.
Yeah,
the weeping
Dolly.
of the llamas.
Dolly llamas.
Is it the horse whisperer?
I think the lighting is great in this. I think there's great backlighting.
It's so
I think
dark. What's with the? I mean, I don't get it. It
looks
seems
amazing.
so. I
I
the
like
kills.
shots, not
The
lights.
kills feel uninspired. Like, I think the
What? That whole chase through the whole chase through
The
the
chase-
blowing
the
sheets.
chase is good. The chase
Well, that's
is
a Halloween 6 chase.
good. No, that's one thing. Marcus Nispel or whatever his name is, very inspired by other movies. Obviously, he has a lot of Friday the 13th references in here with some of the things happening. You know, the Friday 2 when Leatherface grabs Erin. There's like a Friday 5 type kill in there. There's, the Blair Witch feel in here. There's a lot of other films being felt out in this film, but I don't know. I felt like the characters they acted fine. They're just sort of underdeveloped, so I don't really care, even when they have sort of like the sad sort of, we got to sacrifice, Aaron sacrifices Andy, kills him, takes him out of his misery. It's supposed to be a lot more like heart-wrenching and stuff. Didn't have that effect on me. Like, all right, like he can't get off the hook. Just kill him and let's go. The chases are great, though. I do agree with that. I really love the chase. There's a lot of different scenery, even though they're, in one location. A lot of different locations between the freezers and this and that and the house.
I actually think he gives Leatherface better hero shots and memorable scenes as opposed to Jason in the Friday the 13th redo, because in that one, I thought the first shot of when he comes back to kill that first guy, I always thought they should have given Jason a more iconic first shot. And I think Leatherface, he nails it here. And there's a couple of great sequences with Leatherface. Again, I know this is not for everybody. I'm not against what Dave said. I think it could have used a little bit of trimming. It's only an hour and 35 or whatever, and I think an hour and 25 would have worked for it. But it's not. It doesn't overstay its welcome. But there's something repetitious, something a little long, and I would have lost the little boy. I think, and then you take those things in, and I think I would have elevated it even higher.
I would have taken him to the dentist.
Right.
Jedediah.
There's too many characters. Again, same complaint I've had about the other ones, where there's too many characters, because you basically have R. Lee Ermey being Drayton Sawyer in a manner of speaking, because of the way there's even that one scene, and I think they did it on purpose, when he's driving with the boy in the back seat after he punches him in the teeth, and he actually says, what the hell? I have the
he said, I feel them hard shell peppercorns.
Shit, hold on. Let me find what he said. Oh, he goes, that was really rude now, wasn't it? He said, after he hit him, now we got something to come. But he says a line, and he has a look on his face, and I think he did it on purpose. And it looks just like when Drayton is driving with Sally in the first movie, and he's hitting her with the stick, and she's in the front seat of his car, and he's pushing on her, and he says something, and he gives this look on his face, and he gives like the same type of look. The bottom line is he's the speaking guy. They don't have a hitchhiker character. They have Leatherface doing this, and what they did was, yeah,
the girl with that got gun fucked.
Yeah, which is a great shot. Fucking love that shot. And again, I agree about the cinematography. I disagree about the look. I don't like the aesthetics, the look, the lighting, but I do think there are some really good shots here that they can't be overlooked. So I'm with you that particularly that shot is fucking one of the better shots in horror, maybe the best shot in fucking horror that year. Great stuff. But the thing is, you have a grandpa who, instead of being a non-entity, talks. He becomes the fucking the humor that the hitchhiker was. Because some of the stuff he says is, hey, you can't just go in my house and shit like that. He does have some fucking lines there. And then one scene when the part cracks me up every time when he's like, bring it. And the kid goes, bring what? That's supposed to be funny. But I've laughed in the theater when I saw it. Every time now I still laugh when I see it. Bring what? But and then they have the grandma character. Then they have the little boy. It's too fucking many. Because of the running time, they have time, but maybe more character development about our kids. That's what B wants. Spend more time on the kids and less time with the family, I think. For all the running around and all the characters, I think it could have been done better. And funny enough, I like the people in the trailer. Because it's quick.
I thought you didn't watch trailers, though. You shouldn't have even seen that scene. What the fuck?
Oh, fuck.
I do like that, but they feel very Rob Zombie-ish. They feel very Rob Zombie-ish to me.
Well, they became Rob Zombie-ish. Remember, this do you remember?
This is before, yeah.
When this came out, I remember this was the first movie that was announced for being, now I'm not counting fucking House on Haunted Hill and The Haunting. To me, that was different. I had no sentimental attachments to those movies. I was like, okay, they're updating old movies. Yeah, at the time, that's what I was thinking. And I remember being on the Fangoria message board. These were the time, like 2002 or whatever. And they announced, this was the first remake announced that pissed people off, myself included. At the time, that was the mind state. Well, think about it. They never remade a classic to one of us, like something we grew up with. It's never been remade. All of a sudden, you see they're remaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And when you think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're like, that's a movie that can't be remade. Think about the way that looks and sounds and everything about it. People were mad. Me too, like I said. It's like, fuck this. Nobody wants to see this. Of course, we did end up going, and it was fine. And
Toby Hooper was involved. He was involved with this, too.
I know. He was the executive.
So was Spielberg. Spielberg shot it.
There were a couple shots that were Spielberg. Maybe he was.
Spielberg.
But there are some good things, but everything good, I'm going to say something else that isn't so good. Like, I love the intro with the crime scene and the end of it. I think that's well done with John Larroquette again coming back in to reprise it. That stuff's done well. I like the opening shot with them in slow motion doing the fucking the final chapter fucking thing on the rope going into the water.
Yeah.
Definitely think that was done on purpose. You know, all you need is fucking what's his name to be standing there going, all right. That would have been great. But,
and Gordon.
And Gordon.
And a pack of Patootsies.
Exactly. We should have saw some pack of Patootsies with these two. Because, I'll say this. As far as them, I think that Aaron and Pepper, fantastic. Best characters in the movie. And
best characters since Salt and Pepper.
Maybe the prettiest pair
You're pushing
of two girls being in a slasher ever.
Prettiest pair of peppers I've ever seen. It must be them hard shell peppercorns.
Oh, my God.
Well, how come there wasn't? How come Pepper's killed? Nobody said there must be a hard shell peppercorn.
That would have been better. I agree. Imagine that. If you're gonna have comedy and fucking nods to the other movies, that would have been better. A little fucking pepper joke. Why not? Why not hard shell pepper? But I mean, those things are good. But there's also, some things that I just don't like, and it's just. Jamie said this when they talked about it on the Skeleton Crew, and I have to repeat it. It's, why is this movie so fucking wet? Everything is wet. All the fucking every place they go is wet. Even the final act, it conveniently rains in the last 5 minutes of the film when the girl's running and this is happening. Every house they go in, the basement.
Trying to convey heat, the
Wet.
humidity, the heat of Texas. I love that. I love that.
Get all wet.
He probably ate that from Do the Right Thing. Yeah, I get what
Ate
you're saying.
that? Did you say ate
Huh?
that from Do the Right Thing? Is that legal?
I will make it legal. But everything's
Christian, what are you looking at? It looks like he's watching like a
I'm watching
countdown
the
or
movie.
something.
he's
I
watching.
have the
you have
movie
the
playing in the
Oh,
background.
you had the movie. Oh, okay. I thought you were like watching like the clock out there. Like, is this fucking shit almost over?
Why is it so wet?
I'm gonna say
You know, I'm
this.
watching it, and I know what's not going through my mind. Why is this so wet?
Yeah.
I got nothing against Jimmy. I agree. It's a great observation, but I have no problem with it because I think that's what they were trying to establish, like the heat, the humidity. There's like a dirty, you feel like I love that. I think it brings me into it. Didn't take me out of the movie. It pulled me in.
They're
more.
recapturing that grime and heat and filth of the original.
It's overdone, is what I'm saying. And okay. Speaking of the originalness and the comparisons, they did have some nice nods. I'm not complaining. Most of the stuff they did was fine. We always say that a remake, if you're going to remake a movie, this is one way to do it. Remake it. But I mean, have nods to the original, have some of the same shots, and do your own spin, which this did. I just don't necessarily like the direction they took with every decision. But, man, what was I going to say about this? I lost my own.
The wet. You're talking about Jamie the Skeleton Crew.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
You were going to take some things, she said.
Yeah, the wet. Every place they went was fucking wet. Too much of it.
The wet.
meat locker was wet. He even made the place wet for no reason. Why did fucking Leatherface turn on the sprinklers in the fucking meat place? Let's make this shot wet too. Sprinklers. Leatherface literally turns on fucking sprinklers in the fucking meat shack for no reason, just to make more wet. And then they have wet in the fucking rain. They got wet in the everywhere they go. It's fucking slimy and
This
wet.
is an argument.
Make more wet.
It's an argument.
Make more
It's just
wet.
They just keep making more wet. But I think
Making more wet.
believe it or not, I would have enjoyed this movie more, I believe.
If it was
If you-
drier.
It was less wet. Yeah.
Yeah. But on
You can hang everybody on a hook a little longer.
Even the sense of humor wasn't dry, it was wet.
No, on a lesser budget. This movie would have been better off on a lesser budget. It looks too fucking clean and everything like that. But the biggest sin for me, and again, this is not because it's a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's because of the year it came out and the way all horror movies were that were Hollywooded at the time. The fucking, although it's big budgeted, I should say. The thing is this, the fucking score with those fucking booms is way too much. Those orchestral fucking booms for every fucking thing that happens it takes me out of the movie. When I want to see a slasher movie, a gritty fucking movie like that, go all in. They keep having the fucking anytime something happens, they have that big orchestral boom with all the instruments playing. I don't fucking want that. And again, that's this time period. That's what they were doing in 2003. I wish it would have been an independent movie like a May, which came around kind of right before this, on a lesser budget, direct to video or something, and they didn't have to have all those bells and whistles. I think the movie would have been better off that way. Just my opinion. I don't know. Does that bother you guys too? Yeah, because you like all those fucking bombastic fucking booms and fucking sounds throughout your slashers and movies like this. It's just.
I think that was more of a sign of the times. I think.
It was.
And I'm not saying I like it, but
They used to call me Mr.
it's
Boombastic.
fine. It works. Yeah.
It'd be better without it, though. It's something of the time. Again, it dates it too much because of that aesthetic of everything looked at, that glossy greenish fucking look that everything had. All the movies from that time looked. It works in a Saw movie because they started doing their own thing, and I want a Saw movie to look like that. But all of a sudden, every movie looked that way, and it works for me in The Ring because The Ring was a dreary blue movie. It seemed to fit, but for every movie to have that look.
The only thing I don't like about The Ring is when Samara comes out of the well. I think she's too wet.
Makes sense there. Makes sense.
When I watched this with my daughter, she enjoyed it, but she did say she felt the same way. It got like muddy or something, right when it should be picking up a little bit more. So
that's what happens when
it
things
just
get
muddies
too
it out.
wet. It gets muddy.
You know, like she's like, why did she go to this trailer park? Why are we introduced to the fat lady and the woman with the baby and all that? And they're just trying to say that this little sort of crazy kind of nest of people kind of is a little bit more widespread than just that one house. But I don't disagree. Like I really enjoy this. I've hovered like between like a certain rating for a long time, and I guess every viewing I've never hated it, and I've never thought it was like absolutely amazing, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. I like the look, but I prefer the beginning. I actually prefer the beginning to this.
Definitely, but I can't wait to watch that. I'm excited about watching that one. That's fine. It makes sense there. And a lot of people say that's like a fucking poor recreation of this, because but I disagree. I like it makes sense in that. But this movie, again, I do like it, but there's too many things about it that I have issues with, and that's all there is to it. I mean, but there is some funny parts. I do like some of the humor, even with Hoyt. Like the one part, you got to have respect for the dead. He goes, "You don't think I respect the dead?" He goes, "Hey, move that nasty goddamn thing out of mine. Put it in the trunk." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's little things like that. That stuff's good.
He saran wraps her.
He even says, because he's feeling her, he's being all nasty with her after she said, he's like, "She's still wet." Did you was she too wet for you, Dave?
Everything's too fucking wet.
No, honestly, for me, it needed, even though the chases, especially with Aaron and Leatherface, are great, and it really shows you the vast sort of compound they live in. I think they do that with the characters too. There's not enough kills of these bad guys. I mean, obviously the sheriff kill, it's great, run someone over 50 times, it always makes you feel good seeing that in a movie. But there needed to be more kills.
True.
I feel like most of the kids are killed off very instantly, because Kemper's face is cool.
Lasted
but
too long, I think. Except Pepper.
No.
Pepper got killed right away when
Pepper got killed instantly. Kemper basically gets thumped on the head, and then you just see him in the bathtub.
Other two took fucking forever. One was in the bathtub, one was hanging on the fucking thing.
Yeah, but he's basically dead. I consider him basically dead when he's hanging on the hook. They showed the one scene where he tries to get off and he doesn't. You're like, he's dead. He's missing a leg. Like this. He is
dead, and that's a great shot of him getting his leg sewed off. But as far as the movie itself, there's movie time invested in her having to go and then go see him and go through all that shit. So that's what I'm saying. I wish they would have been killed quicker so there could be more kills, instead of having all these dramatic moments of her going to him and then going to the other kid in the tub. They kept revisiting them. You know what I'm saying? I want the
when she saved Morgan in the tub, that's when the kills should have been off. They should have both been fighting back. They should have been killing people throughout the trailer park. They should have killed maybe the fat lady and the girl in the trailer. Maybe they kill Mama. Maybe they kill the guy, the grandpa with no legs.
Sure.
They don't have to kill everyone, but maybe they kill most. Maybe they kill everyone but Leatherface.
Maybe they should all be there. Then maybe they shouldn't all be there. In this movie, all you really need is Hoyt and the fucking people in the trailer. And the old man for one scene. But I mean, because it's funny and stuff. But I mean, you don't need what you get from the people in the trailer speaks fucking everything, all the mystery of the movie when they find the stuff of the girl's been there and everything else, and that jar and everything else, and what's at play here. That's really all you need to know, and that they have that baby. That's all you need to know, is that kid he's a good boy and he's fucking disfigured and he doesn't bother anybody. You know what I mean? You get your speech from. You don't need the mother and everything else and all that fucking rigmarole of the shot. And first of all, and when I watched this movie with Frankie, and I talked about this on the show, I go, what would you do? I go, if you were to report a fucking thing, some girl blows her fucking head off in your car, you go to a place as a citizen doing the right thing, you alert the authorities. As soon as you alert the authorities, your job here is done. So if you don't leave that body, if they say drive the body somewhere else, that is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb.
Yeah. Leave the body. If they're going to be assholes about it, these cops, and not come right away, then you take the body out, you put the body at the foot of the fucking store, and you say, sorry, we've done our part as citizens. We're leaving. We've been through enough hell because of this. We're going to leave. I mean, Erin gets on her high horse, and I do get it to a degree. She's like, this girl has a family. They're going to want to know that she wasn't just tossed aside like garbage. However, it's not. Is it going to do me any good knowing that my daughter fucking blew her brains out where she was found? If it's a fucking suicide, there's enough depression there. My daughter took her own life. It's not going to make me feel any better or worse knowing that her body was fucking in the back of a cop car or an ambulance or on the side of this building. It's just
Or that
not.
she was still wet.
Poor baby.
That was in the police report.
They should have got out.
Two things. I'm flashing back just because I have this ready to go and I don't want to keep it on my phone anymore. That movie that I was talking about earlier was The Story of the Weeping Camel, not a llama, a camel. So, but that was the other one that came out. It was a documentary that came out the same year as that. So I think it was a double whammy. That movie and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. My wife was on a fucking vegetarian for a bit. But anyway,
it's funny that camels live in such a dry heat where it's not wet.
When Leatherface salts the fucking amputated leg,
Terrible.
that part always gets me.
Why
like
did
some, or
Let
What?
me tell you why. Let me tell you why I hate it. It doesn't fit what a Leatherface would do. It's fucking very uncharacteristic of a mindless fucking shark like a Jason Leatherface or a Michael. You know who would make sense to do that? Hannibal Lecter or a fucking charismatic thinking man's killer. That to me was like a jump the shark moment for one of the big killers.
what?
Hannibal
They
Lecter
don't torture.
Hannibal Lecter would salt and pepper the leg. Ah.
Indeed.
Put a little Worcester on there. I like that. I think that was good because it's not like he did it like that. Base was a fucking shithole.
Did
So
it
it was
to
just
cause
almost
more-
like kind of like I
He
don't know,
was-
it caused more pain. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying Leatherface is. It doesn't make sense that Leatherface is the torturer to me. I just don't like it. Doesn't, and not because it's Leatherface, because he's a fucking that type of a killer, a big brooding a big monstrous fucking guy with a weapon, hacking like a slasher. That's typically something that someone like that doesn't do. It doesn't really fit the profile of a fucking. It's better for somebody that has much more intrigue to him, like a guy from like fucking D. Snyder Strangeland, or like or someone from the Poughkeepsie tapes. That guy, that would make sense. Having one of our big four do it, it doesn't seem like it makes sense to me, or any fucking slasher
Well,
killer.
I guess it was also again we're talking about a revision of it. It isn't
know.
a direct sequel, but this is no different than people getting pissed off about Jason with hunting people and keeping a prisoner and whatever. I'm like, who?
I don't like
They
that
get
either.
something different. It drives me crazy.
I don't
This is why I sometimes when I'm not doing the show, I sometimes go, I don't want to talk about horror movies anymore because I these things I think of these things and it makes me hate people. And then I don't feel like sharing I don't feel like doing the show anymore because of it. Like it gets to that level. I'm just like, man, I really fucking hate people.
He's talking about you, Dave.
Not you. No, not you guys.
Okay.
But just people in general, because I
everyone
have
now.
to hear their asinine, and this is, again, it's an extension of what I said last show, where I said I don't know how to sugarcoat it. This is exactly why I'm like, I get why certain people say that, but then I'll read like half-witted and like half thought out theories on on a horror site or whatever. I'm like, oh, fuck, why can't you just enjoy movies? Not saying they all you have to like everything, but I don't know.
Well,
It's overthinking certain
I
things.
agree with what Dave said there about Leatherface not being a torturer, but honestly, just being made aware of it now, it still doesn't bother me, and it's
doesn't bother me. Just
it's out of character for that character, but it's probably like not even in the top 10 things that bother me most about this film.
no, it's a
You know what I mean?
2-second thing. It's just
Yeah.
honestly, last night I wrote the note about it. I've liked it in the past, but for some reason watching it last night with the podcast eye, like I like to do, it's different. I'm analyzing what I'm seeing, and maybe I'm thinking too much. It's entirely possible. And I might have earlier said that I don't like it or I can't stand it. I'm being over dramatic for the sake of the show a little bit and being
Of course, we all do that.
Okay.
We all do that too.
But look
and
at
I'm not, this is not against you. My thought process
No,
is not
cool.
against you. But I hear people just shitting on things. I'm just like, but for what? Like, for like those movies in particular, I don't get it. I don't get the Friday 13th remake hate. I'm like, I really don't get it. It's pretty much everything that the other, with better production value. Like I really
You know what
don't
this
get it,
movie
but that's
needed?
Let me
This movie
fix
needed this movie needed a dinner scene.
There's always a fucking dinner scene.
No, it needed it though. I think it needed it because there's no cohesion here with the family. I don't really get that they're a family. I would have liked to have seen a dinner scene. Where are all these legs going? Grandpa's missing 2 legs. Andy's missing a leg. Nobody's eating any flesh here. I would have liked a dinner scene. And given the brutality of the sheriff, cut out the van scene, bring the girls and bring
Agreed.
bring
The van
Morgan.
scene's way too long.
Yeah, bring them to dinner, and have him do the torturing at dinner.
That's fine. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I agree with you. See, it didn't take me much. You're right. You explain it that way.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna try to fix this for you, and hopefully I can sink in. No, really, it's a way of thinking. Everything is a state of mind, and if you have the right state of mind, you become more. What's the word? Your tolerance level is raised.
State of Alabama.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna help raise your tolerance here.
I'm out.
People are this way because they are passionate horror fans. If they didn't care, they would say nothing. So if they're comparing, maybe it's not right of them to compare Friday and Texas to their originals, and maybe it's like apples and oranges, like we say you should watch the movie and take it as his own. But the reason they're this way is because they're passionate about the same things you are. They love the genre as much as you do, but they want to critique because they want, in their mind, they want this genre to be better because they love it so much. They want to see improvements on it. So would you rather... Anywhere you go, people are going to do this. You could be having the same discussions anywhere, any hobby you have in life, anything you're into. If you were to talk about anything else online, politics, religion, anything, you could be talking about fucking My Little Ponies with fucking somebody or Star Wars, anything you could think of. People are passionate about what they love, and there's always going to be people that are going to be that way. So look at it this way. You could say you hate people of these, but that's just mankind. That's all of us doing this. What we have to do is allow ourselves not to be bothered by it and to not let them ruin your good time. You love the genre. You love talking about horror with the right people. Don't let those people ruin what's good for you. That's what you're letting happen. You know?
I get over it really quickly, but it definitely enters my mindset where I'm just like, oh, it's tiring to hear. And again, I'm not saying you have to love this movie. I don't even know if I love this movie. I just really enjoy it. It's a standout to me. I think they did a really good job. I still think that it could have been shorter. I think they could have fixed the things that we spoke about earlier. And I think the beginning is better. But I don't.
The beginning of this movie?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. You skunk. But I also do like the look of Leatherface. I thought they did a good job. I can't remember my thought process when I heard that they were redoing it. I may have been like, what? But I'm never against it, like just like I was when they did Dawn of the Dead. But then I watched them, gave them a chance, and that was it. I don't really, at the end of the day, it doesn't ruin my enjoyment. It doesn't, like.
Here was my thought process when I found out. Oh, they're remaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay.
Really? People were angry. Myself, Texas Chainsaw and Dawn. Because those are two fucking bona fide top 10s in many people's lists. They're not just any old movie. You're taking, you know what I mean? You're taking horror fans who already feel like, okay, this is our stuff. We love it. We love Chainsaw. We love Dawn of the Dead. When those are the first two announced, you're like, why are you touching these fucking masterpieces? That's the way we thought at that time. Now, flash forward to 2021, I don't have that anymore, and I feel like the weirdo now because everybody's so opposed to this Exorcist thing, and nobody loves the Exorcist more than I do, and I am like, bring it on. Let's see what they can do for us. Everybody else is like, oh my God, no.
What's the deal with that? Is that a miniseries they're doing? What?
A movie, isn't it?
They're doing 3 movies. That's a whole other
Three movies, that's it.
Now and it's 3. First it was just 1. Now they're doing 3.
And she's involved. She's involved. What's her name?
Yeah, Ellen Bernstein.
Yeah.
But not Linda Blair. Interestingly enough, that would have been a fucking nail on. That would have been great. I don't care. I know you don't like the Halloween thing, B, but I mean it's what's hot now, and it's still The Exorcist. And put in the right hands, this could be great. I'm not gonna fucking.
I wasn't mad that they're redoing Halloweens now. I'm just mad that they're not very good.
That's fine, but that's what I'm saying. But you're willing to say, hey, let's give it a shot. When Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah. I don't care. I don't care that they're doing more Exorcist stuff. They're gonna redo everything at some point.
I'm with you. Well, we're in the minority. People are MFing.
I know.
And
it destroys their childhood. It's ruins
It's
the
not even-
original.
I don't
No.
think people say that anymore. They just say there's nothing you can do to improve or match The Exorcist, so why bother? That's what they say. Well, they say the same thing about Texas Chainsaw, and they said the same thing about Dawn of the Dead. Are they as good as the original? No, but if you give me movies that I can sit back and say, hey, it's a fucking 7 or 8 out of 10, guess what? That's another 7 or 8 out of 10 in the world that I enjoyed my time with it. Why is that a bad?
And that's exactly it. And again, are these the same? Like if they've boycotted every sequel, every like, and they only say I only like the first Halloween. Maybe they don't even like Friday the 13th because it was just a copy of Halloween, a cheap jack ripoff or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just saying if they've stuck to their guns that much, I can't even imagine them being that much of a horror fan. They could be a fan, but I again at some point you kind of have to question like what do you like then? Do you only like The Shining and The Exorcist? Like
I bet they
there might
suck in
just be
bed
those
also.
finds.
I bet they can't even get a girl wet
Well, we're
or too wet, according to Jimmy.
where I'm going with it is like I don't understand. Like, yeah, where's the enjoyment factor of just saying like I'm just going to give this movie a chance and see? Like they're the same ones that say Hollywood has no new ideas. Yeah. And that's been the argument for fucking decades. It's there to make money. They're products. All of these things are products. Some of them elevate a little bit higher and actually have a little bit more of an like artistic merit to it, and some of them don't. And they're there for entertainment pieces or whatever. And that's always going to be the case. It's never going to change. And if they think it's going to change at this point, you're just kidding yourself. So enjoy it for what it is. Support it. Don't support it. But I would say give it at least a chance before you
at least check out the trailer. Decide
Yeah.
if you want to see it or not. Right?
And that's okay too. I'm not. I know he's saying that for funny,
But Dave's
that's
not against
true.
it. Dave's
No,
not
I'm
against
not
the
against someone
Exorcist
doing
remake,
it.
and that's exactly. I'm not either. I'm not
We're watching
against
the trailer
anything. Let
for
me
it.
see it. Throw it out there. Let me see it. I will say, I can't believe they did the Martyrs remake or whatever like that. I watched it. You know, I watched that Inside remake. I've watched them all.
See, I have not. I didn't bother with them. I skipped them, and I think it's probably a better move. But so be it. That's just my personal opinion. But that's okay. See, you were spot on with that. That's a great rant right there. And B, listen, let them watch
Wasn't paying
trailers.
attention. Can you repeat that?
Let
No,
them watch
you can hear it on
trailers,
playback.
man.
I don't
Let
listen
them.
to the show. Don't
If
forget, I don't
watching a
listen to podcasts.
trailer, if watching a trailer helps you decide whether or not you're gonna watch the movie, by all means watch it. What do I give a shit?
Sometimes
Like I say,
I just watch the trailer, and even if it looks good, the movie, I won't even go see the movie. I'll just be like, that was enough. 10 out of 10.
God damn it, Jamie. I'm at the fucking part now where the sprinklers have gone on, and now I'm dead serious. Now all I can think of is this movie's so goddamn wet, and I'm not kidding. Like
She's right.
the sprinklers are on. The floor's now soaking wet. The meat cleaver's covered in moisture. Everything's fucking wet. Again, it doesn't take me out of the movie. It is a
You're
weird
letting it
thing as
bother
to
you.
why.
yes, it's an
You're letting it
overplayed hand. That's all. There's no reason for it. That's why it's bothersome. Like it's a little wet in the basement, fine, but boy, do they emphasize it constantly. Then at the end, it's fucking soaked. Then the sprinklers at this place. Then the rain at the end, conveniently for the last 5 minutes where you don't even need it. Everything, anytime things happen, they want to have fucking these people. Okay, maybe they're going the
Making her
perversion.
shiver. I like it.
Maybe they want
I actually
Jessica
don't mind it.
Biel Fucking, with wet breasts through a fucking t-shirt. Maybe they're doing cheaply, like the fucking Danny Steinman in fucking Friday 5 with Melanie Kinnunen, with always having her wet so they could see her braless and her fucking breasts.
Yeah,
And if they want to show
Friday
off their
5 is definitely too wet.
that one scene, in the climax, yes, it's raining like it always does on a Friday climax,
It always gets wet during the
but not
climax.
inside the house. If Friday 4 had fucking water inside when he's killing me and it's fucking water coming down
It doesn't
there,
rain in part 3.
it would have been too
There's
much.
a windstorm.
You're right. That's fine. A windstorm, he says.
Isn't it raining on? It's raining on Roy at the end, so it's still raining. They don't even stop it.
Rains
Yeah.
in 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Fucking 6. It rains at the beginning. Every time Jason's on the screen, it's raining. There's lots of rain.
It's too wet. It's too wet for him to be electrocuted back to life.
Yeah. It's too wet. Yes. Did you guys notice? And I know you probably didn't listen to the X and Z thing, but Frankie always does this stuff. She's so good. She noticed that the bracelet on the door when it fell off was the bracelet from the girl in the original movie. in Texas Chainsaw 74, the girls were.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and that's Sally.
Is that
the other
true?
girl. Yeah, well, listen, we watched them back to back, and Frankie pointed out, she goes, look, she goes, that's the bracelet that girl wore in the last one. And sure enough, I checked on it, and she was right.
That's an awesome Easter egg, and I know I've never noticed that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so one little thing. Of course, she always notices shit like that. That's why I keep saying she'd be better at this than I am. But there's my it's easy to sympathize with Erin and what she's saying. I understand why she doesn't want to do it there, and she's trying to be the good person. But again, they just should not have been put in that situation. They should have left the girl where they were. So I see her argument. I do, and I understand why Kemper wants to stay. She's a good person, and that's fine.
Yeah, but you never leave from that convenience store. You don't.
No.
You don't.
No.
It like the whole going out to Crawford's Mill, meet him there. You know, the sheriff's probably at home drinking. I'll show you where he it's kind of just. They need something to get them there, but it's just it's lazy.
It's too much back and forth, and it's a little lazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have written it a different way. I love the fingernail thing. I don't love it because it fucks me up. What's his name's fingernails before he gets fucking killed? Breaking on the thing. Ooh, yeah. Every time. I like the chase, the beginning chase, and when they get to the camper and how it ends, and that's like one of my favorite sequences. With her, and she sees the baby there, and she's poisoned, and the way they're acting and stuff, I think it's really good. And then after, when the lady says, that wasn't a good idea. That was funny. The fucking fat lady said that because she gets mad at the other girl about the tea. That wasn't a good idea. I remember seeing that lady in the commercial and knowing she was going to be a bad person when she goes, oh, my. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, well,
I do. I like her. I like her in the other one too. The next one.
Me too. Definitely.
Great.
What else? Did you guys notice one of the? Well, I know you didn't. There's a skeleton at one point in the movie. It looks to me
like Michael Myers,
like a poltergeist skeleton. It looks like literally one of the skeletons that comes out of the fucking the grave towards the end when they're all coming up and doing all this shit. The way it looked, it had a poltergeist skeleton look to it.
Yeah, Erin even yells, "You move the headstones!" I thought you were talking about when she goes into the basement when she finds Andy. There's a body there, and to me it looked like Michael Myers. I don't know if it was a full skeleton, but it looked like a Michael Myers. Yeah.
That's fucking weird. Well, I think that poltergeist thing was done with intent because of Tobe Hooper. Tobe. Tobe. Pardon me. Let's go back here. Tobe. You know what I thought? Here's what I liked. Him slicing his own leg, on the barbed wire fence when he got and the chainsaw comes down. A callback to the original, but I like the way they did that there. That was and looks gory, but it's too dark and too wet. That's what I'm saying. Some of the gore would have been better highlighted if it was a little lighter and not wet. It would have looked.
Yeah, I couldn't even see when Leatherface lost an arm. I'm like, wait, why is he? Where's his arm?
She hacks it off, which is kind of weird. He opens the door and she's in it like a locker, and he just stands there while she continuously fucking hacks at his arm till it's gone. It's odd, isn't it?
It was a little, or the arm just came off a little too loosey-goosey. It was a little too easy. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I think it's funny.
When she's trying to arm herself.
Here's a complaint. I don't think it makes sense, and I don't like how she is really kick-ass, Jessica Biel, in this fucking final chase and everything. She just hacks Leatherface's arm off. She's energetic. She's with it. She's doing what the fuck she has to do to survive. And the second she gets in the truck with that guy, she turns into the fucking hitchhiker girl from part 1, like she's catatonic. And to make matters worse, she only stays that way for about 1 minute, and then as soon as the truck stops and the guy says, which is funny, but I don't know what's the matter with you, but I can't take this.
Well, look, she she says you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way, just like that girl.
I know.
Yeah, well, she's trying to turn the thing around, but now you're right. And then she realizes, okay, she's fucking stuck there again. She's got to get the hell out of Dodge.
And then she goes back to her old self. You don't slip into fucking catatonia for 1 minute, because she's sitting there. She's like,
where is that? Is that near Oshawa? Catatonia?
Just outside, on the outskirts.
On the outskirts of my mind is Catatonia.
You gotta take me. You gotta take me back home.
I thought they did a good fake out there. Dave, I see what they're saying, and I think they're playing with it's all over. No, it's not. We have another scene.
He's still
Oh,
character.
he's still a character.
He's still-
I love that whole Lee Harvey. He's going, he's checking that he knows it's the girl. He's got the gun. He's checking the fucking truck out and pulls the gun. You see that she's not in there. I love that. And then the head fake of the car, of the police
I
car
love that
running him
fake,
over.
Drew. I love fakes like that, like the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Fucking. Listen,
Yeah.
that is well done. See, again, with every positive, there's a negative. Like I said, I do love that. I just wish that they didn't have her character go into that because it doesn't make sense. If she was going to stay in that position and the movie is going to end, fine. But 1 minute ago, she's fine. 1 minute ago, she's fucking gung-ho, this and that, battling the fuck out of this guy, cutting his arm off. In the next minute, she's acting like she's been through a fucking war and she's mentally fried for the rest of her
Okay
life.
there, B?
And then,
Yeah.
and then, huh? You making a joke?
No.
No.
think he's
I
hacking
thought he was
away.
doing like one of those things when people cough and they're saying something under their fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
Asshole.
yeah, bullshit or something. That's what I thought he was doing. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's hacking away.
Um,
I honestly think they were trying to pull the page out that she had been through the war and she slipped into this, oh my God, it's all over state, only to be dragged back. And then that freaked her out. And she's like, I got to get the fuck out of Dodge. To then, I mean, saving the kid is like a little weird, but
Yeah, but
I mean, I know what you're saying. But
all of her behavior indicates that she's fucking mentally snapped because she, instead of just saying, hey, this is and explaining, oh my God, this just happened. This guy's back here. He's going to kill me. I cut off his arm, this and that. Instead, she acts like a fucking buffoon and reaches over and says, you're going the wrong way, like the other girl did. She acts like a complete loon when all her mental facilities were there a minute ago. And again, what makes it worse is that they return a minute later. I just think it was poor. I just think it was bad writing or a bad decision. Whoever said, "Oh, let's make her slip into fucking this dementia type fucking reality."
you gotta research catatonia, see if you could slip in and out of it like that.
Yeah.
Because she says they're all dead. When they say who, she should have been like, "My friends, you moron."
Right.
Now I'm going back to catatonia.
Slipping in.
wake me when we get to Dallas.
Wake me when we get.
It's funny, Dee, to hear your take on that. I'm not necessarily disagreeing. Never been a problem of mine. I see it, but again, I just look at it movie logic and for entertainment purposes and whatever. And I don't. I guess I'm more forgiving of it. Is where I'm going.
That's
I don't.
Okay. Next time you watch
have
it,
issue.
next time you watch it, everything I said is gonna stick out. You're gonna be like,
Right.
you never thought about it.
You just got Jamie'd again.
It happens. What can you
It
do?
happens.
Some people know.
But that's why Kristen was getting annoyed. Like, I don't want to read all this negativity because then that's all I see when I watch the movies again.
It's true.
Like, oh yeah, I love this movie, and then somebody points out 40 things that are wrong with it. You're like, fuck, this movie sucks.
No, it's weird. I don't, because I never do that. I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I'll still go watch it.
I'll still watch it.
I'll still go watch it. Yeah.
But I might think differently about it. I'm like, you know what? This person's right. This doesn't make any fucking. What the hell was I thinking? This is right. Wow, this movie isn't as good as I thought it once was. That's happened to me. Again, I'm not prideful. I don't stand on my fucking opinion saying this movie is this, and no one can ever change that for me. You know what I mean? But whatever. We're only human, man. If you like something still, salute. I wish I fucking loved. I wish 90% of the movies I watch were fucking 8s and above.
I wish I loved podcasting.
Actually, they kind of do. I love it. These are the conversations is the best part of the movies.
Well, I'm kind of interested because like you guys both, I think actually Dave, you sounded more negative on it than Brandon did, but I don't know where it could rate because like I mean I'm interested in hearing where you guys come in, to be honest.
Okay, here's where I
For
come
once.
in. It's a 7 out of 10. I like it.
Oh,
It's good. But there's
after
some-
all that, that's still a higher rating than I expected. Okay, that's
like-
understandable. Yeah, that's totally cool.
there's
Yeah,
issues, but I still
I'm
like-
just slightly below that. I'm a 6.5. Again,
Okay.
and I think, look, I don't get upset. Like, I know you talk, we're sort of half joking here when we talk about reading other people's negative comments. I usually don't read that. It's just now because we've been podcasting so long, and obviously when we're doing these movies, our job is to watch them and critique them. And if I wasn't podcasting, I wouldn't watch this and pick apart the way I do now. So now I watch, I'm like, oh, why'd they do that? Why don't they develop this more? Why is this scene too long? Why is it like I would just throw it on and I'd watch it, and I'd probably enjoy it more. But that's the problem. That's the problem.
It's true, 'cause
Podcasting kind of makes
you
you
are trying to
enjoy
pull.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fine art. Look it. As much as we love Friday the 13th, and I give the fucking, a 10, a 10, a 10, and a fucking 9 in the first 4. Those are all high ratings. We still made jokes about how fucking ridiculous this was in Friday. We still can review Friday the 13th, the original, the couple, the first 4, and poke fun at it, but still rate it a fucking 10. You can still laugh at some things. That's where you have to find that's what you have to find you need to do. You don't. The only time my rating comes down is when something, like I said, it's not angers me, but like the complaints I have in this movie are complaints. About Friday, I don't have complaints. I might have a WTF moment. Well, that was kind of ridiculous, huh? And then it's just a passive thing. You chuckle and you move on. But these are different. These are actual things that I'm like, okay, this really should have been done better here. I don't know why they did this here. And there's no fun in that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. There's difference. So I will let it affect my rating, but other times I'll pick on a movie, but I can still give it a 10. I can still laugh at it. So I guess, I don't know. You got to find a way to work that into your movie watching and your podcasting life, I guess. It's just, I don't know. Go with it.
Well, this would be the one that, like, I've had it up at an 8 before, but I would probably give it the 7.75 rating. But since we don't do quarter ratings anymore, I'm coming in at 7.5.
You're coming
right on.
Yeah, I would be. It's always been a 7.58. But the last 2 times I've watched it, I've said that portion.
You can give it a 7.75, but you cannot give it a 7.58. I'm sorry. That's where I draw the line. He's like, I know we don't do quarter ratings, but it's always been a 7.58. Like, that's not a quarter rating. That's like a 4/16 of a rating.
Or 8.
Or 8. Remember when Watson did that for like 3 episodes? Every movie had like a fucking thing.
I'll rate this a 9.721. Like, what?
Only Watson.
The balls on this guy. Yeah. What's going on with that show? What's happening? April was like the last show.
Well, it's summer series time, so we had to take a break because again, my rule is I will not.
This show ruins fucking everything.
I also heard that show is run by a bunch of perverts. Is that true? Too soon?
Dave doesn't even know. I know what you're saying, and he doesn't even know.
I have no clue.
That whole controversy on the page.
What page? Summer series?
It's amazing when Dave, like
the
when
one
Dave.
Z.
I was talking about summer series. That's
No,
fine.
he was asking what was going on.
Exactly what Brandon was saying.
He was asking what was going on with Watsy, and I just made the joke that I heard that.
That whole one. And how about this? I'm such a pervert. I didn't go this whole show and gush about fucking Pepper. I didn't say one word about how I love this girl that plays Pepper. She's one of my favorite actresses at this time period, and I think she's beautiful. And everybody talks about Erica, about Jessica Biel, who was also stunning in this movie. But I'm such a big fan of this girl, Pepper. And she was in this movie, and she was in, God, I think she's awesome. And she was in, what do you call it? Blair Witch 2. And everybody seemed to like the goth girl in Blair Witch 2, and I like this girl. She plays the Wiccan girl in that one. And she was in like 3 or 4 movies all at that same time coming out. Her name is Erica Learson. Yeah, Leeson, whatever her name is. Anyway, I think she's beautiful. I love it. Everybody talks about the other one.
Only complaint, she's too wet in this movie.
And I'm not taking that comment and doing anything with it.
Nice.
Because I'm not a pervert. No, actually, I am. I guess if you want to think that I'm a, what do you call it? If you think that I'm a pervert, think it. I can't help it that I have sexual urges, and I'm just, that's what I was born with. At least I'm not, going after. Let's not talk about what happened at Wadsey. I can't help that I like younger. I cannot help it that I like younger women. I'm sorry that.
Listen, I just recently called up Tinder because I told them that my age filter is broken. It gets stuck on 18. It won't go any lower. Like I called them up. I'm like, are other people having this issue? So maybe I'm a pervert too.
What's wrong with 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23? What is wrong with that? That is the age when you look your most beautiful.
You know what the problem is? Much like the TCM remake, too wet.
Let it be. Let people like them younger. Like me, I'm older. What happens when you get older? What happens to your body? You gain weight. You lose hair or you grow hair in strange places. You get fucking skin tags. You get fucking moles. You get fucking all this fucked up shit happens to your body. You look, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You look better in your fucking 20s than any other age, myself included, and that's you and you and you listening. We all look better when we're younger. We are all more attractive when we're younger. Don't try to fucking defend it. People are more attractive when they're younger. And if I'm a pervert because I think girls that are 20 are hot, sorry, that's never going to change. I'm going to be 80 and I'm going to be thinking this girl's hot. Am I going to fucking approach her? Of course not. Of course, if I was a billionaire, I may be able to. But that's back to the original conversation.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
I'll take the money. I'll take the money. I told you. You know what? I always tell my dad to keep his skin tags on in case I want to return him.
You get fucking age spots. You get everything. You look fucking, as years go on, you look worse every fucking year and less desirable. And I know it's supposed to be about what's inside, but what attracts me sexually is what's on the outside. So fucking bite it.
What's on the outside when you get older is fucking disgusting.
Right. Even myself.
Look at this liver-spotted motherfucker.
I can't stand looking at myself in the mirror. And some people at work think that I'm not overweight. And I say, no, I need to lose fucking more weight. They're like, no. I'm like, yes, I'm disgusting.
I didn't want to say anything, but Jimmy is fucking popping out at me here.
See what I mean? Yeah, look at
No, I'm just kidding. Fucking.
But anyway, I didn't mean to go. You brought up, I forgot all about that thing at Watsy. And it got smoothed out. It was funny. The real reason it's not recording is because my rule is I will only podcast 1 day a week. This will never become my life. It is a 1 day a week maximum hobby. That is all I'm going to give it. So because the fourth show during that month outside of VH is going to be Summer Series, everything else has to go on the back burner. I'm not doing guest spots. I'm not doing this. I'm sorry. I'm just saying I'm not doing anything.
Are you doing liver spots?
All that stuff. Yeah.
You know, in the Fresh Cuts chat, they have a rule where they'll only podcast 1 time a day.
They would too, some of them. They don't miss a fucking. They never miss a fucking. What do you call it? A notification. Any notification anywhere. I believe Mike Merriam would be fucking banging his wife, and he'd see fucking something come up on the fucking phone. Oh, someone made a comment on this page. Wait a minute. Somebody said something in the chat room. I love the guy. He's never done it, you know what I'm saying? But I just think it's funny the way some people are very, they're always there for.
First guest ever, episode 16, Mike Merriam.
Yeah, hey Mike.
Green Room episode.
That was his first time and last time on the show.
Well, no more guests. We're not doing any more guests after this year. This is the year of the guest, and I think he said we have 9 and 9. The
year of the guest.
And then we're gonna be done. And then next year, well, we'll talk about it another time. Time's running out here, but it's gonna be different. We're gonna be what did Vince McMahon say? Time to shake things up again. We're gonna shake things up again. So anyway,
Brandon just shut down for the day.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I'm out.
I guess I didn't touch my computer for a while because it literally just went black on me.
We're going to put the vote out there. I mentioned it last show. I'm going to mention it again now. But it's got to be an overwhelming thing or we're going to not do it because you don't want to lose people over it. But if the new proposed fucking thing works, 1 regular show, 1 big show, 1 bullshit show fucking a month is accepted, that's what we're going to turn into. So it's
not that we don't talk horror. Like as we said, we ended up getting into topics at the end of that show. It just might be that we introduced the topics a little bit earlier, and it's horror related. We're just not reviewing movies. Like, yeah. And
we did talk about you visiting.
I like lists. I like topics. I like just talking like that.
Yeah, you know what would have solved your problem, by the way, to seeing what's his name, to seeing B. See while you were in Jersey how they're running around. I should have sent you a mud flap. You would have had a little bit more time to go visit fucking B.
Speaking of mud flaps, I might be coming around to the Dave Z method on mud flapping. I have shit on the floor a few times in the last month.
Have you?
What?
What I said was going to happen happened? Are you serious? This is going to be the new thing? Are you being serious or
We're
not?
saving this for next week. That's a cliffhanger.
Okay. It's a cliffhanger. Even when the cameras go off, I don't want you to tell me.
It's a turd hanger.
What? We will not discuss it?
Oh, no, it's a shit hanger.
Get ready. Next show, we're going to get an update on fucking mud flaps and whether or not they are going to make a comeback. Okay. All right. So, We love you guys. We love you
Thank
guys.
you.
Happy birthday, belated. See, happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday to you tomorrow. Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Dave.
And B, we love you and we miss you. Next time you're gonna be there with us.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
All right.
Sure.
Bye guys. We'll see you next show. Manchichi, and all that good shit.